wants to recount? I was gonna say, who wants to recount what happened last time and what you learned last time?
Oh boy. Well,
we learned the bard has run away, probably because they did bad things.
Oh no, he hasn't run away quite yet. He's still there. I have to run him away for him.
We met the neighbours. Had a little chinwag with them. Face-to-face, confrontational, that there sort of thing. Bjorn was alright in that respect for a change. I spoke to a fucking bunch of flowers. For some reason there was a garden that was quite vocal. We also lit the poltergeist up the fuck. He was surprised by that. If he fucks about anymore, he is getting evicted.
But he did live there first.
Aye, well, we're the owners now. Things change. Ghosts tend to dwell in the past, but you can't be doing that. And then we had to deal with Drow sneaking about. But we knew they were doing this, so we're going to make it difficult for them later.
All right, so if I recall, you also had a job that you were going to do.
Heading to the farm to deal with some scarecrows.
All right. So it is breakfast time. And if I recall, didn't Harton and Uzana mention going book shopping?
And Uzana got some coins. Yeah.
I mean, eventually, but we got jobs to do.
Well, we don't have to go immediately is the thing.
It's true, but I'd just be me spending my day recording spells.
Which might be useful for the scarecrows.
Yeah, what are we supposed to do it at night or something?
That's the thing, we're going to head out around sort of past midday.
Yep.
We got a morning
Because they tend to be active. Yeah, more in the afternoon is when they tend to be active.
Yeah.
All right.
We turn out around dinner time, talk to the farmers, get the local knowledge, and then we wait for them.
So yeah, if you have any spells you want to buy and copy, now is probably the time. Since I believe it's an hour per level.
I thought so.
I think it's 2 hours.
Unless it falls under your specialty.
Let's see. Yep, takes 2 hours and 50 gold per level.
And then half as much gold if it's your specialty.
Well,
yeah, it's definitely not my specialty.
Yeah, Hartnell making use of his time by spending it with the kids. Try to learn a little bit of what Nat's doing and share his own gestures that he learned with Bjorn, Nordic. And gags, of course, because there's sometimes you just can't, just simply speak in the lab for some fucking reason, so he's got to wiggle his fingers at you, not in a magical way, just in an annoying way that apparently is meant to convey meaning. Apparently this one means don't touch that.
All right, so while you all break off to start getting that done, there's a knock at the door. Speaking of, very funny, you fucking dickhead. Sorry, Brader was just on the side and he was knocking on the wall when I said that. Oops, I forgot to bring his fucking token out. There we go. All right, so there is knocking at the door.
We're now open.
You hear a pause, and then you hear more knocking.
All right.
I'll get it.
Hey, on you go.
Hey.
At the door, you see one person you know, and a second one you have no idea.
Oh, hey, it's familiar faces.
Oh, good to see you all. How are you all settled in here?
The place is definitely haunted, and he might be a prick.
Hey, you want to come inside the haunted mansion?
Sure, why not? And he kind of steps inside. And to his friend who is just standing there beside him, he also gestures to follow on in. So, I'm glad to see that you all are settled in. This here is Nandrax. Nandrax, and he introduces everybody in turn.
Oh, Nandrex. Been a while since I've seen one of your kind around.
Battlebread?
Huh?
Where's Battlebread?
What do you mean? Oh.
Where's Battlebread?
I guess he stepped away. I was not aware that he was supposed to play this character.
Yeah, this is his character, yep. So we're gonna
Okay,
wait for a
prop him
moment.
up in the corner next to the bard.
There you go, the bard's in the corner.
He's just sitting being shifty.
Well, I'll just finish my sandwich while I'm doing this. Oy. I was about to say, yeah, the only people. Oh, Neverember knows the kids. Never mind.
Of course. They're well known. There's a small reward
no,
for him.
Oh no, he knows the children because he was sent. They were sent to him.
Yeah.
And he let them in.
In order to fulfill a nefarious plot.
It might not have been nefarious. All she wanted was a hanky.
Pretty likely it wasn't nefarious at all. It was just, can you fucking manage any task I give you? I need a snot rag. This is something they throw away sometimes. Achieve this, please.
To be fair, I'm not actually sure. Now that it's been done, I'm not sure that the tiefling actually is in any way connected.
Well,
I think he just said that. I think he just pointed and said that person needs a hanky, and there you go.
Yeah, she might even just be a little, just one of the assets, but she's not really. It's not part of any grand scheme. It's just, can you do this?
Oh, hey, I see. Okay, I think Battlebread is here.
Yeah, I posted the character reference in tabletop.
Yeah, it was just
I recognize
read-
that.
there was just a just introduced that I said, and I introduced as well. I was just not aware that you were the player character, so there was a bit of an awkward silence.
I was like, I recognize that Dragonborn,
Yeah,
but she is not to be.
He's used it before, but anyway. Do I actually know why I'm here? I've been
You
brought-
do. As a matter of fact,
No.
1 second, because I have food in my mouth, and this is a problem.
That makes one of us.
She DMs with a full mouth and she talks with her mouth open. It's just really bad.
I just got through the door at 8 o'clock. Fuck off.
Well, you could have delayed just to get a sandwich.
Well, I was getting the food, and then, yeah, everything fell into place there. Okay. So, yes, as a matter of fact, you know what you're here for. The Harpers were trying to arrange for you to find a place to live, and they're hoping that this upstanding group here will have a room in their mansion that they totally haven't filled up.
It's not a mansion.
And-
Also, I think the attic might be free now.
Well, you actually have a spare room other than Lou. You
Yeah.
have the attic storage. And you
We
do
can
know
still
that
throw Lou out at this point. Unless he wants to speak up.
he
No,
pipes up.
that's fine.
No, he pipes up and says, "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. That would be very rude. I own it." There you go. That's about what he would say. He's a partial
Alright,
owner.
yeah, technically he does because he did co-sign the paper. Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, technically he owns it. As much as any of y'all do.
His signature's on there in Halfling. Yours is on there in the big X.
He didn't actually pay any of the money. Can we just sort of buy
We
him
didn't
out?
pay any of the money.
He paid, I think it was 15 gold. He did pay something for the furniture.
Okay, yeah, for the furniture.
Yeah. But anyways, Nandrex, you do know that they have a stipend that they gave for you to ask for rental purposes. And Never Ember offered to take you on down, introduce you, and make the suggestion.
All right.
You also carry a letter with you. 2 different letters, one for Lou and one for Horik.
Okay. Let's start with the letters. I shall hand them out. Who are these again?
Okay, so they do. Never Ember does introduce everybody in turn. Lou is the dark elf over here.
Yeah.
And Horik is the halfling that's in the middle.
You
That
do
looks
have
kind
to
of dodgy.
You do have to call him a dark elf. He's not a drow.
Hey, somebody's working on that.
What is he actually?
He is a dark elf.
Incompetent.
A very retarded dark.
He's a
elf.
drow by blood, not accomplishment.
All right.
He was raised by halflings and doesn't speak any drow.
I shall squeeze myself through here then, and hearten the letter.
Oh, it was a
one's for
Horik.
you.
Yeah, it was Horik.
Horik.
He's a dark elf in the same way as when an American says that they are European.
That's
Well,
about right.
their ancestors were European
Yeah, but
at some point.
I'm
Yeah.
1/15th malice on my mother's side. The other
We
side
get
is
him to
probably
find
spiders.
them, actually.
Okay, I examine this letter I've been given.
Right. The letter says, Renair tells us you are a good bet. He bought you and your friends tickets to the opera tonight. Or correct, not tonight. Tomorrow night at the Lightsinger Theater in the Sea Ward. If you're interested, meet Mert at intermission. Private box C, formal attire is required for admittance.
Okay.
Well, that's
Hang on,
us.
when was this? When was this theatre thing again? Sorry?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so we can still do our thing today.
Formal dress, that's us fucked.
That's the other problem I was thinking of.
well, I mean, I'm pretty much covered, petting my blood-soaked
Just about
coat that
covered. Guts getting a wee bit out there between the seams of a chainmail.
Hey!
We could always just say this is a culturally significant wear in Red Shale.
And inside Horik's note, but not Lou's, don't know if that was deliberate or not, are tickets for the entire party minus the children, saying that it's for a opera called The Fall of Tiamat.
Oh, good, a happy story. There are a lot
Now,
of
is
bad
this-
things about their eyes.
Is there some dwarven names involved in this opera?
No.
Ugh, that's one of those boring human ones.
If you want, you can ask the man who bought you the tickets. He is standing here. He's usually not standing there, but in this case, I had to add him in.
Bjorn's basically just gonna assume if there isn't a dwarven name involved in this production, he's just gonna assume.
Don't go getting all pouty and bunching up your beard. At least there's no elven. Well, there's probably not an elven name here. I've been to one of their shows before. Well, we have actually. I mean, we were shit faced, but we went to one, and they treat the opera as if they are fucking immortal. God in heavens, it went on. 2 hours later, 3 notes had been sung.
Never Ember just pipes up and says, this one, I don't know if you've seen this one yet. This is their rendition in Giant.
Well, that's going to be loud.
Well, it's an interesting experience, I'll give it that.
Aren't half the cast usually gnomes?
No, not in this one.
Now, you're
wonder
thinking
how-
of the Spectre of the Salty Marsh, eh? That's mostly a known performance, so we can do the little boats on stage.
Oh.
Maybe they'll use
Anyways,
the gnomes for scale.
Yeah. The cast them as humans and whatnot.
yeah, to get the sizing right. Yeah, that's about right for what they do.
Hey, I'd do a naval vessel on a stage that's small. But, this looks a wee bit interesting.
Well, I was speaking to a couple of my friends and well, I have a couple of friends in the Harpers, and they had mentioned if any of you might have been interested, so I threw two of your names in the loop. But
Incidentally, these Harper friends of yours, you've seen them face to face and all?
Renair just kind of points over to your lovely dragonborn friend and says, "Well, this would be one."
Alright.
Associate.
No, it's just things were different for me earlier on. For some fucking reason. Well, yesterday.
What?
I met a person, but apparently it was a garden.
What?
Was it Falconmere?
Okay. No. Now I know what you're talking about. Oh, okay.
Eh,
Well, no, she's not the garden. She just tends to, disembody around the garden.
hey, that's perfectly normal then.
No, I think that has something to do with the side effect of being chosen of Mieliki.
Well, I hope Valcura hasn't got that idea for me.
She is not a dryad or something by chance.
No, she's not. As a matter of fact, she used to be a noblewoman, if I recall. She is a lady, I think. Yes. Okay, never mind.
Don't fancy her for myself, just floating about, chatting away.
It's. I suppose worse things could happen, particularly when you're that powerful.
That's true. I mean, she could read those pages. That was handy. About time we had someone who could. Not to specify anyone or anything like that. So, the Opry tomorrow. Is there a guild for fancy rags?
Yes.
I suppose any kind of shop would work. Not many it's just any type of clothing store would work.
Do we do rentals, or are we going to have to make a purchase here of exorbitant amounts?
There would be rental places, but I have a feeling it might just be cheaper to buy it.
Probably, depending on the amount. I suppose we might get invited to more stuff like this, maybe.
If things go well, probably.
Yes, I think we'd probably be better off buying some nice, basic, formal gear,
Yeah.
and maybe a couple of embellishments. And
Well, we'll get a couple. I mean, me and Bjorn can share a suit.
Never Ember looks very confused.
Yeah, Harton's
I don't
about
think-
6'6" and Bjorn about
Yeah.
5'4'5".
I don't think you quite have the shoulders dimensions to fit one of my suits, mate.
That's true. I might as well get one of my own then.
And he just kind of gives a pause. Anyway, there was a second matter I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
Did you all happen to have a spare room? I was aware that this is a relatively large place, and I was inquiring.
Well, I mean, we do have to swap a few rooms around as well. I mean, Horik run about on that floor in that massive room. Like I do the kids better, Horik. But there is a spare one up in the attic. Used to be a storeroom, but you could probably get a mattress and all in there. Good view.
Well, we were just inquiring because our friend over here was needing a place to stay and was looking for a room to let. Any chance that you could go for a gold a 10-day?
Ooh.
I would pay rent.
Yes. Well, that's what he's offering to cover 1 gold per 10-day.
I mean, I'll have to consult here. What do you think, Gags?
you will find I'm not very troublesome, and I do not make many demands, so a room in the attic would do just fine.
Well, we know there's not going to be stray hairs at least.
And considering what some of y'all are up to, he might actually be of use if you are willing to have him tag along. He's perfectly capable of holding his own.
Alright, well, just make sure you keep that to the room. Got kids here after all.
I just noticed that Rena drew hatches on this map.
I didn't draw hatches.
No, that's
That
how they
came
look.
on it.
Oh, I could have sworn those weren't there before.
No, the only
They were
thing
there.
I've added, the only thing I added is the names.
The hatch to basement.
Yeah, all of that stuff was here. It's just where it says like kids, dwarf,
Well, yeah, I know that.
Chicago, Horic, Lou.
Weirdly, those
That
are in
all
the
I
book.
added. They just knew it. This campaign was written just for us.
You gotta specify, every party has to have a married couple, a dwarf, and some dude with a dog.
Yeah, we're Mysteries Inc. We got Fred, Daphne.
No.
I'm the dude with the dog.
No.
but I'm
As
also
was
kind
later
of Velma.
established, Fred's not into that. He focuses on his traps.
There are things I like and things I don't like.
Well, to get to prove himself, we got a wee job tonight. You heard the old ruckus with the farmers and some scarecrow shenanigans?
Never Ember gives a shrug. And also, Nadrax, you probably would not be aware either, because this is outside the city walls.
Well, it's got a wee bit of potential, because it could be some nefarious undead or constructive evil, or I'm willing to put a couple of silver down on the chance that it might be a couple of goblins on a pole and a big coat.
Can I put a couple copper down on a couple of university students having fun at night?
I'll need you to elaborate there. Are they pretend to be the scarecrow, or are they animated it as a joke?
I'm going to go with pretend to be. Animated, I'm assuming alcohol's involved as well.
Right, the bet's been made.
The kids all kind of pipe up and say, "Can we go with you to see the scarecrows?"
Hey, you already said you could.
Yay! I can't remember that.
Just remember, you're going to be
Okay.
staying up late, though.
That's okay. We do that all the time.
We don't have parents anyway.
Yeah, they do
We
not.
can't go to sleep knowing we're unwanted and unloved.
Just like me, kids. Just
The
like
bright
me.
side is,
Not-
if we die, no one will miss us.
No, I'm not playing Malgurn. That's not true.
Gaddix has Kago after all. He's programmed him to love him. He has to.
Yeah, that's why he's a dog and not a cat.
Geddix, how's the flamethrower going?
Kago opens his mouth and flame comes out, but it's like a Zippo lighter, you know.
Used to be a wee...
Also, Nedrax. Renair picks up a kind of a small little bag and tosses it on over to you, and it's jingling as it's tossed over.
All right.
Inside, you find 10 gold pieces to cover 10 days.
Oh, aye, a wee bit of a warning for anyone ruminants, especially up there. If you see someone stalking about all shifty like on the rooftop, try to ignore them for the most part. Probably a Drow assassin or a nefarious type.
It's one of lose friends.
It's alright. We're going to start wiring up the roof. They're going to have a hell of a time.
Never Ember looks very, very concerned and just says, "What about drow assassins?"
It's probably not an assassin. I mean, most of them are assassins by nature anyway, because I've had...
He says assassins. I call them secret admirers. They leave him notes. And it's so cute, you know. And he's
I
like,
can try to bring you one if you're sneaking about near my window.
Well, he shouldn't be going near your one, but they'll probably hang about opposite. It's just something to be aware of, try to ignore them as best you can, unless they try to make their way, in which case you rip their fucking head off.
Oh, I guess I can do
Or
that.
or charge them entry. Tell them there's a cover charge.
But you gotta wait till they step on the premises, Just daintily skipping about the tiles. Nah, you can leave them be. That's just how they move around. They can't do the streets, can't be conventional.
Now I'm imagining somebody trying to charge the boss to try to come in. That
Ain't
would
nobody
be-
see the wizard, not no way, not no how.
No solicitations. Get the fuck off my property.
Alright. Trespassers are to be delivered to you? I
That or
suppose.
charged. One of the two.
If there's guard patrolling about, they could probably handle something like that.
Otherwise, just toss them out the way they came in.
Hey.
Gravity will take care of the rest.
It's not complicated, it's pretty simple. Oh, also be wary of the poltergeist or something. He seems to stick around in the bar room here. And so far he's been a bit of a
Not
prick.
just a rumor then.
No,
Yeah, he
some-
also appears to not be able to play checkers.
Yeah, he's pretty shit at that.
Oh, Park, did you reassemble the checkers board?
Of course.
A piece has been moved.
Ooh, yes. I moved my piece.
Oh, that's the red large gambit, that. That's a victory in 50 moves, so long as you don't do anything. They're not that competitive in red large.
Interesting. Nadrax watches him play checkers with the ghost.
Oh, it doesn't move other than that. It just moved once.
You've got to not be looking, he's a shy one. Especially
Except for
now.
when you lit him the fuck up. Confused ass poltergeist going, I'm in 3 different colors. What the fuck?
3 members of the party just fucking blanketing the room in radiant fairy light.
And then Gaddis is like, hey, I can do that. Plink.
That's what I said, 3 of us.
I just thought using the 2, yeah.
Lou,
Like,
Harden, and
I was
Gaddix just
like-
all turned around, fairy fire, you fuck.
I wanted to be a Ghostbuster when I grew up.
I am. But we'll be heading out
Hork?
round about dinner.
Horik, there's a move. The
Yes.
checker piece is moved.
Okay, is he at least following the rules? Or is he playing some other game?
He is following the rules, yes.
Okay, I move again.
You are started to play checkers with an invisible force.
This is fine. He's not throwing chairs at my head.
Hey. If he keeps that up, he will be getting kicked out.
Renair looks very confused, but eventually does kind of shrug and says, oh, well, I do have things I've got to get off to do today, so if everything's settled, I guess I'll see you all later, possibly?
Hey, no worries. We'll be outside the walls after our dinner, so. But yeah, next day in a bunch, we'll be free and available, depending on any further weird messages.
All right. Nadrax, if you need anything, don't hesitate to let any of us know, and all right.
Of course.
And he takes his leave.
Well, it looks like we need to go shopping for clothes.
That sounds fan-fucking-damn dozy.
While y'all are doing that, Lou offers to take Nadrax up to the room, considering the rooms are right across from each other.
Yeah, get yourself settled.
Alright.
So the very helpful Drow decides to take you out and around to the staircase over here. When he does, though, you notice that, and it's a very weird situation, he kind of stops. He looks very confused and looks around a little bit. Tells you to head on up the stairs. Just follow the stairs all the way up and go to the room that's empty, and he'll join you in a second. And then he wanders off down a side alleyway, and he's gone.
Okay.
He looks very
Well,
confused.
I don't know any better at the moment, so I will continue to go up, but I will spare a glance to see where he's going, if I see anyone there.
Let me hold on. I'm putting this so your room has your name on it. And I will pull up the alleyway map. So you are in T1. You all went around. The door is over here. He went down the northeast entrance, looked both ways, and then hanged right.
Okay. Did you ping? Because I didn't see any pings.
Here we go. So where the northeast entrance, are you seeing the pings here?
I don't see any pings.
Oh, well, that's...
There we go.
Ah, okay,
That was
now
wrong.
I see
There we
the
go.
arrow.
Yeah, that's somebody else. So how about, do you see my arrow?
Yeah, I see the arrow.
So yeah, you went down this way, and then he went down this way.
Oh, that's my
So
arrow.
the
You're on
main
the wrong
entrance
layer.
is here, and the stairway.
Oh, I'm on the wrong. How am I on the wrong? Here, let me try that again. How about this?
There we go. Now we can see it.
There we go. Okay, so he went this way, and then this way, before
All
going
right.
out of view.
And I'm standing here, I suppose.
Yep, right on the corner.
All right. I'm not going to follow into the corner.
Back away from
Thing.
Sword.
My Zord's not there right now.
Don't need to be there
I do
in that
know
proximity of that
that you-
token.
You don't like Zord? How dare you not like Zord?
He'd be fine if he wore trousers.
He was wearing trousers. He was
Not in the
wearing
art.
wonderful colored trousers, red and gold trousers. All right, so yep.
The way it goes here, up the second floor, common room, hall, and then...
Yep.
Ah,
And then
up
that would send
here,
you here. Yep. And then up
Yeah.
there
when I'm there. All right.
to your room. There you go.
I suppose there will be a brief glance into both rooms, because
Mhm.
I don't know where the fuck my room actually is.
It's easy to identify. One room has furniture. The other is your room.
Ah.
Time to speak to a guild.
Welcome to Waterdeep. Well, he is a native of Waterdeep, although he spent most of his time down in Skullport, so.
Yeah. This will work fine.
So now, Drax, you're chilling there, and then you realize Lou doesn't come back.
Yeah. I don't have much to do up here anyway, so I'll go back down. And then I'll actually go into the alleyway where he left and see if he's still there, somewhere in the area.
Right. Let me copy you over there. All right. So that was wrong one.
Yeah, that's very dark.
That's a different scenario. That's what you call more of
Sure.
a Baldur Gate situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yep, over there. And the only thing you notice is the alley seems completely empty. However, you do see what seems to be a wine seller's cart driven by an elf, not a dark elf, a regular elf, being driven that way. It's
Oh,
full of big wine barrels.
hmm.
The driver, he gives you a very cheery wave.
Yeah. I wave back hesitantly. But yeah. Does it look suspicious for some reason?
Not particularly.
Besides from the fact that a stranger just waved at me for no reason.
Yeah, you were looking at him. Other than that,
It's a
no,
merchant.
doesn't seem weird.
Okay. going back now. I don't know what the fuck this guy is up to, but yeah.
Do remember, Rena, you're talking to someone of the Germanic descent. Someone just waving at you is immediate grounds for suspicions.
Yeah, I know.
It is actually.
It is, yes.
He's so welcoming and friendly. What's his angle?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going back in. So, do you know where is the elf here? He kind of just ran off.
All right.
No, he's not here.
No.
Well, did he tell you anything about where he might go?
Might have. Probably not, though. He is his own person. Like, the rest of us can all just wander off if we happen to.
Ah, still kind of rude.
It's alright. He'll probably run back in a panic, realizing that he needs our assistance. I'm just predicting this sort of thing. Might be fine, though. He might come back all smiles. I doubt that one, though.
Alright then.
We've only known him for about 2 days. 2 days and a bit. Not even 2.5.
I see.
But he gave us a job to do, as the kids pipe up in a corner. So
Uh,
he's all right.
He did.
Okay.
Well, he got us a job to do
So-
kind of incidentally.
Yeah, so anyway, I've noticed there's not much in the way of a bed or anything up there. It's quite spacious, but some furnishing would be nice.
Well, don't worry. Here, as he just starts rifling through the various paperwork in his bag, there are about 16 different people you can ask about.
Alright.
Gesundheit.
Would you let me take a look at it?
Yep. So
Freaking
you do get a list of people
Yeah.
who are more than happy to sell you beds and any sort of furnishings you require.
I'd be wary of that one, though. He's got a lazy eye. I wouldn't trust him with a hammer.
A hammock would be a fine. But yeah, I'll speak to one of those in time. In the meantime, I suppose I could offer you my help if you need something with the scarecrows or similar.
Alright, he said we're taking you
Not
with
like
us.
there's much to do otherwise.
Like I said, you've already been volunteered.
That's more like voluntold. and you can see like the kids wave from you over in the corner. It's gonna be fun.
Potentially.
Apparently, the
interesting.
scarecrow's been eating things. Scarecrows don't eat things.
Yeah, scarecrows usually aren't that hungry.
Well, you see, if it's got an undead force inside of it, it's filled with negative energy from a dark plane that's oblivion to all life itself. So it has this natural inclination, despite how unnatural it is, funny thing that there, to destroy, consume, and obliterate.
At this point, it is not a scarecrow anymore, though. It is more of a construct.
Jenks is quaking in his boots over in the corner, by the way. And Nat is very comfortingly patting his shoulder.
Here's the thing, though, lad. Don't be too worried about it, because while it might be all evil and fueled by that sort of thing, still made of straw and wood. And look at Bjorn there. He's made of sterner stuff.
Hey, and also very fortunate. I recently got a hold of this one. Shows the sword. Apparently, it can even produce fire.
Careful
So
now,
last
careful
time
now.
I
You're
remember-
waking us near the roof.
Last time I remember, straw and wood still burns quite fine.
Well, we've got a wee bit of experience in this sort of thing.
Well,
I know that.
I will say that animated scarecrows is still a new thing.
It's not that new. It's a wee bit.
Well,
It's novelty factor. It's not quite new. I mean, we've dealt with undead and stuff like that there before. Do you remember that pack of weird-ass, like, skeletal minotaur things in a maze?
I mean, in the worst case, we could just try to set it on fire.
Hey, well, we don't want to do after collateral problems, because we'll probably have to confront them in a field. And I don't think we'll be getting the gratitude if we burn down about half a harvest.
I'm sure we can get the scarecrows out of there somehow. If we need to burn them.
I'm saying there's still a chance it could just be shitty goblins in disguise.
True that.
Don't you worry, kids, though. Like, we are specialists in our various fields of dealing with evil. Orig here has fists of pure light when he gets going.
Can we see?
Let me wee rummage here. Alright, Horik. You can aim at this horrible, nasty bill. It's already been paid for, it's dealt with. Get it out of my sight.
Okay. Quick as lightning. Punch!
You hit?
No, you fucking numpty. I mean, the radiant bolt.
Well, he has to hit with his fist, and then he applies the lightning damage.
No, you're all distance punch. You're long range fisting. Get a bit of spin on, come on. Bit of a twist. Can't just walk up and I'll stick your fist in. Give us a twirl, come on, make it good for the kids. I want to at least see an acrobatics roll.
Back. Then, okay, I take a step back. I do a spinning kick sort of thing with ends with a punch. or kick anyway, whatever. And hey, I'm not on my face.
I was waiting for that.
The character, no, the player, sounds like it. There we go. He's got a wee twirl on him, he's got some speed.
That's kind of cool. Can you teach us?
It takes years of practice.
Oh, we don't got ears.
Well, you do. Like, let's not be too negative, kids. You've got lots of years ahead of you.
Okay, so I'm going to point out that while y'all were having this conversation, you hear a clapping sound from the window. As somebody you didn't realize you saw before is standing on out there.
Oh, who's be gawking now?
For those of you who had been there previously, you recognize a certain haberdasherer.
Oh no.
Although he does not seem to be dressed as a haberdasher, he still has the hat with the red feather. Although now he seems to be more casual. He has a, rather casual overcoat. And he seems to be wearing more day wear.
Right, it's the boy JB. The one who probably stole our notes.
He wanders around and then gives a jaunty little knock, 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 knock on the door.
Bjorn, let him in. There's a good lad.
Do we let him leave afterwards?
We're not going to fucking murder him. We're going to find out what's happened to our notes. But we're going to make him change his name at least.
How do you suppose you're gonna do that?
Well, he's not going to be never caught after this.
All right. So does Bjorn open the door?
Sure.
Why, hello there, friend. How are you today?
I'd have been a chased out a ghost for the morning, but doing fine otherwise.
Oh, a ghost?
Hey.
Well, that just sounds unpleasant.
I make my next move.
May I
Is he
come in for a
winning?
moment? I needed to discuss something.
I'm curious, is he winning?
I'm not sure at the moment.
It's a bit early.
All right, if we're only about 4 moves in, it's not very far.
It seems to be so far at least a interesting match. And JB kind of wanders in. He's looking over in the corner. Oh, is our friend playing against himself?
Oh no, he's playing with the ghost.
Aye.
Ah, that makes sense. Yes, quite. All right.
Well, it's got enough of a mind on itself. It writes messages, chucks stuff about. It can push a wee tile about.
Quite logical. I did want to speak to you all about something.
Aye, funnily enough, the same thing.
Ah, you've noticed.
Well, kind of hard to, kind of hard not to, considering the squigglies they were written in.
Well, I was hoping that you wouldn't notice until after I'd had somebody look at them, but, well, there we go. I will admit that I may have temporarily pilfered some of your papers.
Maybe look a
Temporarily,
right
mind
dick to
you.
the garden lady.
Garden lady?
Aye, she said. One of them wanted to have a wee look-see at it. She had a nice spell and all for the job. But, you know, got all the pages off Lou and, well, they weren't all there. Had to run back, start making excuses so she didn't think bad of him.
Ah, well, I do apologize for that. I was hoping to get them back before you noticed. I didn't want to make an offer for assistance and find out I could not make any assisting.
So you're not a hat salesman. I mean, you might be for weekends, but I don't think it's your main occupation.
No. But I have spoken to somebody about your papers, and they are currently in transit to an expert in the subject. I have contacts with a drow psionicist who's trained with the Illithids.
That's a...
And
What the fuck is that sentence? Hang on. Who's he?
Hmm?
He's using your kind of words.
he pauses, turns over to Uzana, and says, "All right, I'll try this again. I've sent your papers to a drow psionicist who has spent some time with the Illithids."
All right.
But hang on. I gotta. So, how do you spell drow again?
DROW.
Okay, and now Sikakonikist.
Hang on, before we learn how to spell it, what is that?
Someone who makes use of psychic powers.
Alright.
Frequently, they're referred to as mind wizards.
Oh, alright,
there
okay.
we go. Drow mind wizard. There we go. Noted.
Who hung out with with a brain eater. Alright. We're following.
Several of them, actually. But yes, he should be able to make a little bit more sense of the papers. Lou did translate them. However, I had an inkling by the situation that he couldn't pick up more of the useful bits that you might need.
Well, I've heard there's limitations to the spell.
Mostly context clues, any sort of lingering psionic bits that might be of use. Truth be told, I can't read the Illithid bits.
Doesn't work on
But-
emojis either.
But, I mean, we did look over the drow and the demonic papers. I set the important ones on down, and hopefully he should return with something useful for you all. I'm not sure how long it will take, though.
Not the nicest thing to just sort of take your word for this. It's not a good first impression we're making.
He just kind of gives a little bit of laugh. I do apologize. Sometimes things just happen to fall certain ways. I do have a tendency to want to help before I have permission.
Yeah, that sounds like quite a bad habit.
It is. It's a fun one.
I mean, if it turns out it's actual help, that's good enough.
And before you ask any questions on that, it is, of course, free of charge. I like to assist my friends.
All right, so what does that gotta mean? So what's our price?
As
Easy
I
now-
said, nothing at all.
Easy now, Bjorn. Saying that, though, you did look a wee bit frustrated after chatting to Lou last time. I can understand that.
Yes. I heard about that. I heard that apparently my associates aren't going to be allowed into the building.
Well, it's a wee simple thing. Oh, they're a bit shifty, a bit murdery in their possible looks. And we got the wee bairns here. I mean,
I
we're
can
happy enough to
assure
have.
you
We were happy enough to
that-
have Lou meet with him. It's just didn't really like it being in the home, especially with
I
him being
can
a show.
assure you,
Especially with him being a
none
right
of
show
them-
off.
He looks very confused. Who's a right show off?
Oh, your man! Whenever he visited Lou last time, he locked both windows inside, outside, and the door after sneaking in and out of a room. And two
He
of those locks
actually
are on the
looks-
inside of it.
He looks very surprised. How do you know who did that?
Oh, we've got wee suspicions. There's only so many people who run about in rooftops.
Well, I can inform you that was not Saloon. I did not send him on that.
Ah. I left a note though.
Oh yes, I didn't say that that wasn't one of my men. I'm just telling you that wasn't him.
All right. He was the one who made a wee bit of a prat of himself on the rooftops before.
Yes, that is him. Yes.
All right. Like I said,
Uh,
happy enough to have Lou, chat about with him, hang out. Just wouldn't want them in the house is all. Just in case something turns unfriendly.
Why
know.
would it turn unfriendly?
Well, that's the thing. No prior knowledge of them. Don't know what decisions might be.
He kind of holds up his hands a little bit. Said, "I can assure you that if the situations change and we're no longer friendly with you, we will let you know before there's any inclination of issues."
Do we get to know who you are?
I'm surprised Lou didn't mention it. Actually, is Gadix going to speak up? Because he read the note. Wait, no, he didn't.
No, I don't.
None of y'all can speak Draconic.
Yeah.
Yep, no.
I could.
Yeah, I passed it off to Uzi because
Well,
I
yeah,
thought
you
maybe
can
she'd
now,
know.
Unfortunately, the note has gone with Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody in the house spoke
Oh
Draconic.
shit!
He somehow accidentally chose the one language that nobody here spoke. He said, "Well, we just own a little mercantile company that just happens to be entirely made up of drow members."
That's a funny wee coincidence.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a coincidence.
I'm being a wee bit facetious. That's the right word of that use of that there, Rosie, right? Yeah.
Your friend just kind of leans up against the wall and he gives a little bit of a shrug. And, well, considering one of your associates has joined in, I suppose it won't hurt.
Wait. Which one is leaning up against the wall?
JB.
Oh, okay, sorry. I could swear you said friend.
But he's your
Well,
best friend, Bjorn.
He did just say he's your friend.
Yeah.
He has decided he's
And if
your friend, whether
and
you
if
want
someone
to be or
says
not.
they're your friend, I mean, obviously they're your friend.
Exactly.
It was very generous of him to offer that.
Forever.
I don't recall it being an offer. It was more like a statement.
You ever seen The Cable Guy?
Oh yeah.
Such a good film.
But he does eventually add, considering your friend will probably inform you eventually anyways, I run a little band called Dragonheist.
Reagan.
We mostly... Oh, go on.
No, I'm just trying to work out how that's spelt in the head.
Just make sure you put the apostrophe in the correct place and the E at the end.
Apostrophes is always the case with
Breaking
elves.
the Earth. Sounds a lot like...
Dragonheist.
No, it's just
Dragonheist.
Since
And
we're all
finally,
adventurers, you just see the notepads all come out at once.
You do see Gaddix when you speak up. He kind of pauses and he switches over to perfect gnomish, and then just mentions that was a rather amusing little joke.
I don't like him.
Yes, you do. It's fine. He's a friend.
Exactly, and he switches back over to common. Now, also for our lovely other friend who has just joined in, roll me a history, Nadrax.
I shall.
And then he died.
Yeah, you know
Ooh,
this
nice.
shit. You know this shit hardcore because you definitely didn't even know you didn't have half that score. You definitely know what Dragonheist is. Namely the fact that it's come in and out of Skullport with somewhat regularity. And you can remember that when you were last down, your handler was very nervous about the fact that they'd shown up in force somewhat recently. Specifically, they were not sure what they were doing there, what they wanted. And both your handler and your handler's boss was very concerned that they might have been paid off to become part of a mercenary band to help the Zents. That was a rumor, and you do know that was a rumor. But with your former associates, they tended to be very paranoid, and they were not happy to see them show up.
So
Also,
they are considered bad news in general.
well, you can't really tell about that because you do know that a mercantile company is accurate to describe them at this stage of the game, because they would frequently come in, do trade for all sorts of usually very valuable odds and ends, and then leave again. And while they caused a lot of trouble down in Skullport, it wasn't necessarily trouble that they went in and started. It was usually trouble would happen and they would finish the trouble. And you don't recall them getting involved with anything like the slaving rings or anything like assassinations, usually. As far as you know, they weren't being hired out for things like that. And you didn't even really see them being hired on as a mercenary band. It was mostly just trading.
I see.
But what you do know is they're very expensive. And they have very expensive tastes. And they were apparently run, you're not sure who it is, but the leader was described as very flamboyant with a purple hat. With a feather on it.
Inscription matching.
Well, your friend here, he has a very flamboyant hat with a feather in it, but it's the wrong color. And
Means
it's a
it
black
could
hat.
never possibly be him. There's no way he would ever wear a hat of a different color. You're right. Of course, we dropped the suspect. Let him go.
You're also aware that Dragonheist is only comprised of drow, and as far as you know, only male drow, which means that the fact that there's a human talking here is a bit suspicious.
I would like to approach him casually.
Meanwhile, all of us foreigners, we don't know a shit about anything of this.
And kind of poke at him or touch him to see if he's just having an illusory disguise.
Well, while you're doing, where are you poking specifically?
First, I'm just patting him on the shoulder.
He looks mildly confused, but he's also looking you over quite specifically for something. Are you trying to do an investigation check while you're poking him?
Yes, I would like
Please
to
do so.
Go all out. Roll sleight of hand.
That fucking... What is it? Fucking hell, because they don't make this fucking easy. What the fuck is this spell save DC?
It might be on the item or in some description there.
No, because here's the thing.
Belbred has the disguise self that he just cast, so it says at the bottom.
Ah, there we go.
I accidentally clicked that, but
Well,
yeah.
That's for him though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm looking for the other one.
That's not for JB Nevercott.
To discern that you're disguised, the creature can use it actually to inspect your appearance and must succeed an intelligence investigation check against your spell save.
Yeah, she's looking for the DC.
Yeah, I was looking for the DC of this guy. I found what it is, and yeah, it is definitely higher than 15.
Yeah.
He's looking at you very curiously. And he just kind of pauses after a moment. And he just goes, "Oh, you from around here, friend?"
You could say that.
I mean, I'll just say it. He was only introduced about half an hour ago.
I know that. He wasn't here before.
He's very new to us. So take that into mind for any kind of issues or social pressure.
Nadrax, you get the idea that, well, you don't see anything is off with him. And when you poke him, it doesn't seem like anything's particularly weird, because this is a very thin and wiry human. He's looking at you in a way that implies he thinks he might actually know who you are. Considering you're a black dragonborn, that's not a great sign.
Yeah, that's not too common, I would assume.
In the meantime, I use insight to plan my next checkers move.
What kind of roll would that be, Battlebred? I just realized, because he's not unaware, so you'd be at an advantage.
I try to check. It doesn't really say that actually needs a roll, but I would assume sleight of hand would work best.
Let's go with that, yeah. Not that he can really see it, but...
Oh god.
You know what? Roll me a D100.
71.
So, you all kind of notice absolutely nothing happens. And the lovely human, he goes to move for a second because, there's a big old dragonborn standing right in front of him. And when he goes to move, he accidentally, just the hat, just kind of poof off of his head because there's an invisible hand just chilling over his head. And by pure fucking accident, the hat comes off. That's a problem. Because suddenly you don't have a human there no more. Where the fuck is he? I literally have him out here, and then he's disappeared. Where the fuck did he go? My god, Jarlaxle. I'd like to point out, he rolls a fucking 30 on stealth, so, I mean, the guy's not gonna go anywhere. You have a very fucking confused drow all of a sudden standing there.
Where he is able to work out the name? He's that fucking saucy. My name is Jarlaxle Bear, never caught.
And you see him kind of fixing his hat. His purple hat. He is wearing the exact same thing that you saw him out there, except for the fact that he now has a shit ton of jewelry and bangles all over the place. And he's just kind of looking around, just, Well, that was rude.
Well, you definitely look like the man Lou probably wants to be.
I hope that's a compliment.
Aye. He's got aspirations. I don't know if he'll reach them.
I think he has a chance.
Aye.
He just kind of pauses and he kind of gives a little shrug. He leans up against the wall again and just goes, Nadrax, don't do that again.
It is a wonderful hat you have there.
It is quite wonderful. Don't do that again, please. Very rude.
Well, it was just for the one time.
So I'm going to assume there was a very important reason for this disguise for people who do not even know who you are.
Well,
He just kind of gestures around and just says, I don't think you've noticed, but the city's not used to seeing a bunch of random drow running through the streets.
aye, Bjorn, think about how many we've met so far. Most have been dead. Well, undead. You don't see a lot in the streets. I know we met one like the first day we got here immediately, but that's different. As
He
I'm
just
sure,
kind of pauses.
as I'm sure
You
this,
do see,
and I'm sure this man will say, Lou is a special case.
he kind of puts up a finger and says, I agree with that. Where have you been finding dead drow?
Aye, well, I'm surprised you don't really know since you seem to enjoy lording over a bit of personal knowledge, but especially in those notes and all, that's where we were finding them. Most of them were not living that we dealt with. A bunch were undead puppets. And then we finally got to this, like, he just goes through the whole story and then finally the big confrontation with the matron and all in the big globe of black goo.
Oh, that was the little missing bits of information. You see, I'd read through the documents, but it didn't necessarily cover all of the bits and bobs and how you acquired them. That will be useful. I'll make sure to send them down to my friend.
Aye, and we've got a wee bit of extra connection there as well. We saw one of those squid faces down the sewers. Here.
Yes, I'm aware of who that is. Yeah.
Aye,
That's a Xanathar guild.
but familiar laugh. When that big
Well,
black ball of goo went away.
Oh, if it's an illithid, they all laugh about the same. Let me guess, the watery chortle thing that's absolutely disgusting?
Aye, sounds like a real squelch fest.
Yes, that's about normal. I've had to deal with far too many of the things.
If I may ask, why do you have your men watching this group? Here, by the way?
But are quite distinctive.
I don't have anybody really watching right now. The only reason I had somebody watching in the first place was mostly they were keeping an eye on Lou and judging to see if he'd be an interesting acquisition to our little group.
I'm sure he
Nice.
met the first part of that.
Well, and you can see he's waffling a little bit, and he's trying to find a proper way to speak this.
Alright, you
He
can speak
has
openly.
lots of
You're among
potential.
friends.
He has a lot of potential, and he is at least a very pleasant individual.
Aye. We can agree on that.
Oh, I did borrow him for a little bit. I hope you don't mind.
That's fine. Like I said, he's his own man.
Ah, I suppose that's where he went.
Oh yes, I may have stolen him off for a little bit. I'm sure he'll be back probably tomorrow if I had to guess. I just needed to make sure he at least got some basics in. I just realized that if he ran into somebody that was one of mine and he didn't know, things could theoretically get messy. I wanted to make sure everybody could know not to touch each other. And he kinda
No
rubs his
touching!
temples.
No touching!
Hands above the covers.
I mean, after all, depending on what guild is what, I know you all already had some run-ins with Xanathar and the Zents, so good job. Speaking of, Nadrax, roll a perception.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you notice that anytime he's mentioned Xanathar, he kind of gives you the side eye.
I'm giving him a glare back.
He looks very amused.
He must be a figure of respect, this Xanathar, because I don't hear him being called shorthand, like the Zants and Zents.
It's just the Xanathar Guild. Very paranoid fellow. Most of his people have never even seen him, if it's a him. Right, Nadrax?
How would I know?
You lived in Skullport.
Yes, but as you just said,
Harton
hardly
just pulls
anyone
out the
knows
fucking map when Skullport is mentioned. Where
whatever
the
I'm
fuck is
wearing.
that then?
Well, that's an Undermountain.
No, he has no idea, so he's just looking through a map. Where the fuck did
no,
Skullport? This must be near the harbour, right?
No, that's what Jarlaxle said when you start pulling it out. He says, "Oh no, that's an Undermountain. Four floors down."
Alright, the tourist destination, got you. At the bar. Alright.
Oh yeah, yes, and well, that's one of the entrances, and I don't recommend that one because then you have to fight all the way down. There's much easier ways to get in and out.
But you do start off in a bar, which is not a bad thing. It's kind of the only
It's
way to
just,
get the morale up of these lot.
I'd recommend taking a boat. You can drink on the boat.
I could. Not so sure about him, as he looks over at Bjorn.
He says, "What, friend? Are you saying you wouldn't want to hop on a boat with a drink in your hand and then drive your boat straight through a stone wall?"
Look, the drink is fine. It's the boat that's the problem.
When we got here, he was so dehydrated he had the more wrinkles in his scrotum.
Oh fucking god.
And think about how classy Jarlaxle is, how high class he is.
Oh, you have no idea who some of the people he's associated with are.
Yep.
Like the one dwarf who does nothing but rhyme.
We're fucking Puent.
It was absolutely agonizing. Weeks of more bile being outside of me than inside.
Well, there's lots of ways in and out. I'm sure they'd let you into the castle to let you go down that way if you really wanted.
Well,
That would be much more appreciated. Even though me having to cut through more ghoulies or whatever being away.
probably have to rub a few more elbows before we get that kind of treatment, though. Mind you, I'm not sure what
I'll
we do
rub an
that for
elbow
anyway.
to a mere sheen just to avoid any more boat hazards.
You know we've got to go back, right?
Oh, fuck me.
We've got about 2 or 3, maybe a whole month and a half of water journey ahead of us to get back home once we're dealing with this.
You know, I could just stay here, take
You could,
care of
actually,
the
that's a
tavern,
good
retire.
point. That's a good point, Dad. I'll have a bright spark. I'll do you in your house. Don't worry, I'll send your hammer off.
Well, theoretically, maybe you won't have to go back that way. After all, I mean, if you find information on that paper that sends you somewhere else.
Aye, onwards and onwards. I must say, this has gotten a wee bit complex from just, keeping an eye out on the road for miners.
Miners?
That's what we originally hired on for, what got us in with the drow, the undead drow in that region. Was just, we were meant to look after some miners. There was a new one opening up. Got to do a bit of protection. Beat up an old bugbear trying to extort tolls. And then everything kicked off.
Oh, I thought you meant the miners who introduced us in the city.
Oh, not the wee banners, they're fine.
No, they're miners.
Hey.
But they're
the
not miners.
Yes.
I'm aware of this, aye.
Alright. As long as they're not miners.
No, I was talking about the sweaty lads who smash stones.
Alright. Just checking.
Like
As long as
Bjorn,
you don't
but a
have the
bit
kids
less
doing
muscle.
that.
The miners, not the miners.
Yes.
No, we're taking the kids hunting monster scarecrows.
Well,
Oh, that sounds fun.
good observe, aye. They'll be at a discreet distance. But it'll give us a wee chance to, stretch the muscles a bit more proper, because the last scrap we got in was in the bloody sewer, and that's no fun for anyone.
Oh, yeah, so... oh, yeah, you cleared out that one place, didn't you?
Well, the warehouse were mostly cleared. The tunnels below was just a lot of running, to be fair, in the sludge, and then some nasty wee goblins with murder slits. They've got a nice wee crossroads set up there. But most of them are pasted now.
They've stepped back up in that place.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just wondering if they set back up or if they've decided to abandon it for the time being.
Well, don't fancy going down to check.
Nor do I.
A
Bit too messy.
Yeah, exactly. So, where do we go from here then, Mr. Mr. Cott, I think we'll do today.
He just kind of gives a bit of a laugh. You can just call me Jarlaxle.
Has that got apostrophes in as well?
No.
Alright.
He looks a bit amused. Well, I would like to call it a clean slate. I do apologize for acquiring your documents from you without your full consent. Although I do believe you will agree that it was a very useful endeavor for you.
Aye, and we were a bit cut out by Lou's talents. So we did need a proper translation, I'll say that. But, we'd like to get advance notice on these kind of things. We're not very cloak and dagger kind of people.
Fortunately, we have to be. If you understand.
I'll get a wee bit of an idea of it. We don't know a whole lot about Drow, just poison mainly.
Well, needless to say, usually places aren't thrilled when we show up and start dealing out in the open. We have to keep things a little bit under the table, so to speak. Even if it's things that would normally be a bit more legitimate business on the surface.
Yeah, fair enough. It's all understandable.
Well, I'm expecting, particularly with the news that you gave me, I can send word on down. Hopefully I'll have more news on the papers within a 10-day. However, I am having to send all of this down directly to the Underdark. And unfortunately, my associate is a very busy man. But it also depends on if he has to go speak to a direct source from an illithid. Thankfully, there is one, but the question is if he can get a hold of him at the current moment in time. The only one we really have access to right now is currently serving a matron mother, and she might not be particularly thrilled if we borrow him.
Fair enough.
But I will keep you posted. And please do be nice to my associates if they pop by. They won't be causing you any harm, particularly for the little ones. And he kind of leans over and he looks over at the children and gives a little bit of a wave. And well, Nat and Squidly seem perfectly fine. Jinx has actually moved behind the hearth.
He's just a nervous one, that.
I can tell. Quite adorable. I can assure you, nobody from my association, and definitely not on my orders, would ever do anything to anybody in your house for the moment.
Oh, I like that little qualifier at the end.
He kind of gives a laugh. He says, well, I can't make promises forever, but certainly not the children.
Aye.
And if the situation were to ever deteriorate, we would inform you beforehand.
Alright, but just gotta ask, could you ask your associates to at least come through the front door?
Well, the side door, actually. The front door doesn't get you into the house.
He kind of pauses for a moment, just says, I will try to do so. The only problem I see is sometimes, well, I think your neighbors might notice if a bunch of random drow keep coming through your front door.
Yeah, just have him dress up as Lou.
Do you really think most of my men can pass as Lou?
Not a chance.
That's
To
my
their
fault.
benefit.
Well, is that hat of yours a unique thing? Or do others might have?
That's alright. We just won't
Like-
wire up the roof. It was going to be funny, though.
Oh, I would love to see you try. Please do. It'd be quite amusing.
Garrick's
I
here's
might
got
get another. I just might get another very interesting conversation with Saloon. He was not very happy with that incident, by the way.
I mean, we could tone it down to be competitive instead of harmful, you know. Give him a wee chance to
recommend
flex his
that.
muscles. Aye.
It might be fun.
Could redeem himself. Or make an even bigger prat.
I will mention he is completely competent.
It's just a bad day. Everyone has them.
Certainly. Like when my hat gets knocked off by an invisible hand floating above my head.
Aye, that's a particular little thing.
Hmm.
Was that ours?
Well, there is a ghost here.
Aye, but he's busy with checkers, I think.
You can tell. Nadrax, he's looking right at you at that. He does not believe that was random fucking chance.
Major just shrugs.
I heard that
Doesn't say
you
anything.
joined, what was it, the Harpers?
Wouldn't say joined them. They've been helping me out a little. That's all.
Interesting. Well, uh, I suppose we can consider this matter resolved temporarily.
Aye, as you said, clean slate. But at least we've got some stuff on it now afterwards. We know the papers will be translated properly. That's nice. And willing to give you a wee bit of the benefit of the doubt, because it's such a weird situation. I don't think anything can be straightforward if it's involving brain eaters.
No, that is quite true. They don't particularly like anybody, including us.
Aye. Are you familiar with the... I suppose like a royal house to them? Like, as he brings out one of the old symbols we had. Are they a particularly noteworthy family or anything?
He wanders over to take a look. And, actually, come to think of it, would he know?
If he knows this, I'm going to ask him if he knows Dritz.
Oh, please do. Fucking it. He has no fucking idea. You know, no, he probably would have advantage. So he would just kind of give a little bit of a shrug and say, this is not Menzo Baronzon, this is not Chet Nassad. It might be further to the east?
Oh, okay, those are place names, right.
Yeah, those would be two drow cities, the primary ones that I'm familiar with.
Alright.
Now, I will mention, I do know some of the drow cities have effectively collapsed in on themselves with a lot of the things, and he kind of makes a gesture that have happened. Theoretically, maybe this could be of a house of a city that doesn't quite exist anymore.
It did seem a little past their prime, aye.
Well, were these the only symbols? Just this house?
Hang on, I think there's one other wee symbol here. I believe we did have two different drow symbols.
Yes, you did. Could I acquire those and send them down as well?
Sure, we've got spares, I believe.
In this case, I can take them on down, and maybe theoretically one of my people would be aware.
Just wondered, does
I can't-
Bjorn have any weird expression here of, you're giving more shit to the elf?
The dark elf that's already nicked your shit.
At this point, this is so far over Bjorn said about what's going on.
Just wait until I can punch someone.
Yeah.
He's looking at
Gaddix
that.
hasn't even really kept up with what's going on, but he's kind of got his gun to his side going, if he does one wrong move, I don't know what a wrong move is, but if he does it,
And Horik, meanwhile, is playing checkers.
he's just right.
I'm
He's
doing well at this
conversation,
point.
and then he runs back to the table. And he
No,
goes,
that's
You've
the
also
thing.
noticed. You've also noticed, Horik, that at this point the checkers has stopped.
Yeah, I figured it might have just we might be giving entertainment to Leaf.
Although it just now starts making another move again.
Okay.
He hasn't heard a word that's been said this whole time. He doesn't even know it's Darlaxle there. He still thinks it's JB, never
he's
thought.
probably heard words, like I said, but he's probably running in and out of the room to keep checking the board. You know, so he's getting
I
sentence
keep
here.
having to turn away, look out the window for a while, just so I can move. So using my impressive insight, I make another move.
Yes, as we know,
Yes.
a watched pawn never queens.
Checkmate. Yeah.
Well, I suppose if you ever do need anything or have any questions, you could always ask Lou at some point in time. I'm sure he'll end up reporting in, or more specifically, I'll have him report in. And it can be given to me.
All right.
That's
I
fair
can't
enough.
promise we can assist, but I'll do my best. Depends on if I have any free individuals.
I think we're sorted then.
He kind of gives a. Oh, where did Battlebird go?
I was trying to reload.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, are we having a problem here? He kind of gives a little tip of his hat, and you see he takes back his original disguise that was taken away from him. And he kind of gives a little nod to everybody, and he just kind of starts wandering out the door. And it's a very weird thing, because as he's walking out, it almost sounds like boots are clacking on stone. And the bracelets that have been completely silent are now jingling and making a shit ton of noise for no reason at all.
Just slams the door behind him.
Bloof.
There we know. The JB
What
stands for
a
just been.
actual prat.
He's just a bit of a fancy lad, that's all. He's not up his
Maybe
arse
we
like
should
some of the
have
ones we
asked
met
him.
before.
Maybe we should have asked him where we could find a decent place to buy clothes.
I don't think we
You
want to
could-
shop at the same place he does.
You could try to ask. He's literally right outside.
I'm just thinking our budget might be a wee bit down low compared to his.
I'm not going to be walking around looking like it. What are they called now? The Indian bird.
Peacock?
The peacock. I'm not walking around looking like a peacock.
In your case, more like a peahen. We'll get you some brown I'll get you some brown feathers. You can stick them in your beard. It'll be fine. Oh, we could have it. We could have it braided and wrapped around your scalp. Get it dense and fluffed up enough to look like a hat.
Oh, my scalp. What are you going to tie? Are you going to butter it into the skin of my head?
You can trust me, I'm a cleric. It'll be fine. It'll heal. Just need to make sure it's not iron so the rust don't get in your brain.
Implying he has a brain.
Well, he's bound to have something in there. Keep his head from deflating.
Oh, sprayed it. That fell off. There we go.
Oh, yes. You are now finally free to do whatever you want.
Now, all that made a lot of sense, but isn't it just me, or has our days gotten a lot more complicated lately?
Aye.
During the time we were hired to deal with boars. Just a couple of angry pigs. They were simple. They were dangerous, but they were simple.
How do we reverse engineer the boars? I'm kidding, but that'd be funny.
I wish we'd never thought him that friggin' goo.
Ah, no, we did good jobs out there. Remember the
Aye,
crack
but
that
look-
priest's head made when we rammed him on the wall? I'm gonna specify, kids. He were a bad one. He'd gone completely off the end.
Jinx kind of pops around the corner, finally says, I was a bit worried about that.
No,
Priests aren't normally people you conk on the head.
we were all. Well, I mean, I'm one. If I turned from the good side, I wouldn't be able to do any of my weird little spells.
Oh, what are you all going to do?
Well, as I said, after all that talking, Hard's going to sit with Nat to try and decipher her language and share some of his.
All right. And then Uzana was going to go copy some of the book notes.
Yes.
So, Harton, roll me an intelligence.
Ta-da! My best stat.
I also linked some Roboboars on tabletop.
Yes, I saw.
I saw. I approve of that.
Never mind, he's fucking great with kids.
You
Heart-
280.
You get a fair bit out of what Nat's got, and you're actually surprised it's fairly advanced for being something she's literally come up with out of nowhere.
Hey, well, necessity's the mother of invention. I think the father's meant to be gone, but he's a bit of a dick.
You know, there is a Church of Gond here. But yeah, so you do learn some basic bits like hello, goodbye, or come here. As a matter of fact, she's very excited to assign you some of them for some of the animals that they saw last time in the parade. So you know things like bears. You know unicorn. There's a very specific one for polar bear too. They're apparently very interested in that polar bear. Basic bits and bobs like that, but you know, not enough to fully string a sentence in.
But enough to get the gist.
Like you can get very, very basic, like one word things out.
Helpful stuff in case there's a bad situation.
Like you never know, maybe a random polar bear attack.
Yeah.
So, are you all ready to go out into the world?
I mean, the rest of the party might want to do things too.
Yeah. I'll keep watching the Checkers game until it's done and see about getting a bed or something where I can sleep on.
All right. So yeah, you do find on the list there are plenty of shops that are available. Forgot, how much do you come with for gold? 15?
Let's check. Once my browser stops fucking around, I can tell you. Alright. Oh no, wait, that's background.
Well, if we have time to do stuff, I'm gonna tinker with Kago. I'm gonna make him emit bright light for 5 feet and dim light for an additional 5 feet.
And also fit him with a feather holder.
No,
So
but
he too
can
can
mimic
look jaunty.
noises.
My background gives me 10 gold.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. And then of course you have the extra 10 gold that you have just chilling there for
Yeah, for rent.
Your rent. Yeah.
Yeah, just better hope you get paid job. Yeah. We do internships here, sadly.
One gold per day for a blank room
No,
without
10
any
day.
service is actually quite a lot, I think.
Well, for the furniture, the first place you go to actually offers you a bed, a nightstand, and an armoire for a whopping 30 silver.
Yeah, moi.
The
All
armoire.
Fuck.
That sounds like a good deal.
It's basic.
We got some fancier shit.
It's very basic, but it's more than serviceable.
Yeah, I'm used to basic.
It probably is a little bit step up from what you're used to.
Yeah.
In the room certainly is. He's no
Oh,
longer
like
below
it.
ground.
And
Yeah.
they do say that they will deliver.
All right. In stay per day. That
Also-
would be more than comfortable. Would be priced comfortable would be priced at 8 silver pieces per day. I'm not sure a blank room counts as comfortable. But yeah, just
You have an inkling they put you there for more than just room and board.
yeah. I mean the generous 1 gold per day offer.
No, per 10 day. It's even more
Per
ridiculous.
10 day. Yeah. 1 gold per 10 day.
Ah, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a gold a week.
Yep.
Essentially.
So, yeah. That does make a huge difference.
1 gold per 10 day. So effectively you have 100 days that you can stay there for free.
All right.
Food is not included, though.
Yeah. That's why I'm being volunteered to help you, I suppose.
Yep, among other things. We're a very popular group. Everyone's got interest in us.
I'll add that to the list of orders for furniture. And yeah, then we should probably see about getting clothes.
So is everybody going to go out and purchase some clothes?
I mean, we are
I
gearing
think
up for
so.
a fight later on. We don't really have time, just making any excuse you can.
I mean, how long could it take? You could probably just wait until tomorrow.
And I mean, we've got weirder sizes and all, so we'd be there all day. Like, I've got a pretty broad shoulders. And Bjorn there's got
And
adjustable
you better get
shoulders.
it on order today so we can pick it up tomorrow.
Oh, Shaw, it's not mechanical engineering. I would know.
Would you?
Might be something you have to ask the Gondites.
I scoff at him.
I never knew that about you. He's just got a big smile on his face, just letting it sit there.
Nandrax, you have a feeling that these people, although they shit talk each other, generally like each other.
Yeah.
Alright, fine, let's go get ourselves something. Might as well get something for the kids too. Come on, you lot.
Oh, we're gonna get some new clothes?
Hey, are you telling me, Squidly, that you looked at that man, you did not want a fancy hat like his?
And the cape!
Ah, the cape's a wee bit... We'll get you a shoulder cape, not a full back one, though.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess I'm a little small for a full cape.
Well, it's not that. Capes are dangerous. You get caught on wagon wheels, on door handles. A shoulder cape's fine, though. It's got a bit of dignity to it.
Can it be purple?
Probably should have asked
No.
him if he could bite his style. We'll go for a rosy blue. Meaning purple.
Okay, I guess.
If you want to look fancy, that's fine, but you're not gonna be looking like a fancy nitwit.
What's a nitwit?
As Harden
I'll
walks
look
out,
at
he
you left.
gestures at Horik, sitting over the checkerboard. Besides, you want to have your own style. You don't want to go look imitating someone. We'll see we'll see how we go.
Okay.
We'll get you some decent shoes and shit as well.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yep.
We've only had these ones, and they're not really good.
Yeah, exactly. Got to keep your feet dry.
How many of them have basically shoes that's looking like they talk every time they move their feet?
They're mostly wrapped up,
Hmm.
so it's one of those things. And it has been getting very chilly because it's technically spring, but it's very, very chilly right now.
Ugh. Yeah, we had some snowfall a couple of days ago.
It's quite lovely right now. I'm enjoying my weather, and it's 60 degrees outside.
Been bitterly cold here with sporadic sunshine, and today we got some light hail for a minute. It's very schizo at the moment.
Over here it's fairly cold and rainy.
Probably pretty
will
nice in
point
New
out,
Zealand.
I will currently. I'm going to currently point out that outside is a light rain. There's a light rain going on outside in Waterdeep, so y'all are probably going to get wet when you go outside.
Yeah, we've got our cloaks and all that there and bedroll shit. Spread on for the kids.
Does it look like it's gonna last, or?
You are aware, since you're from here, that it does tend to last in the rainy season. It can go on, off, or it can go all day.
Right, next step, got to get ourselves some nice wax bumper shoots.
Bumble shirts?
Hey, bumper
Umbrella.
shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've
Hey,
never
what would
heard
you call them?
called
We
that.
parasols or something like that. There, you see them in the wee cafes.
The umbrellas.
Hey.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Hey, onwards and outwards.
Alright.
As we go to find the Tailor Guild, for fuck's sake. Everything's a bloody guild here.
So yes, you are given the instructions, and you do find a shop not very far away that announces itself as a tailor. And you go in, and you see a relatively fancy-looking man sitting behind the counter, looking utterly bored, and does not look much happier when you walk in.
We'll serve us with a smile.
Are you looking for the regular clothing store?
Aye, we will be
7 doors
afterwards, but for
down.
now we do need something that'll be appropriate for theatre. As in attending, not performing.
Theater, you mean like the bawdy tavern songs?
Yeah, we'd only hope. Nah, it's the Fall of Tiamat we're heading to. You know, a big opera.
Oh, at what location?
I don't fucking know. Hang on a second. Where's my ticket?
Oh, Kish. Oh,
I don't have it. Bjorn, do you got... Horik, do you have... You've just looked at the ticket, right?
I look at the note as to find out how we're going.
Hold on, let me bring it up for you again. It's in the C ward, and it is Lightsinger Theater.
And Harden's already pulling out the map. Spreading it up against the wall. Where the f is that?
The individual does.
I suppose I could point them in the right direction.
You
Okay.
definitely could, yes. You
Got a
do
better
know
idea
where.
though. I scoop up Jinx. Alright, laddie. You've got the knowledge of the streets. Whereabouts are we going?
points out immediately.
You've got a real knack there. Well done.
Thank you. But
Awesome.
you notice that the shopkeeper does light up when you mention that, because this is actually someplace that he considers important. Well, why didn't you say so? Come on in. Let's see. Let's get you something appropriate for this kind of event. Let's see.
I've got a worrying feeling this man don't do pelts.
You do see he's looking over all of you. He doesn't ask for opinions on anything. He's just kind of looking you all over. I found something. I know exactly what you need. And he just goes right into the back of the building.
Well, I'm not feeling really confident about what we'll walk out with.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we've made a terrible mistake, but we'll find out shortly.
A wee bit out of our depth here.
He does come back out. And he starts handing you the individual bits and bobs that he thinks is appropriate. Surprisingly enough, he has something for you, Nadrax. You would have assumed, maybe that might be a little bit more difficult, but no. He does have something tailored to a Dragonborn. The question is, how much do you enjoy Baby Blue?
God.
Not very.
Pastels are flattering.
It's a bit too bright.
It is baby blue with gold trim. And he does direct you all over to the changer room. So you're the first one that gets it, Nadrax. You have a baby blue outfit with gold trim, and he's kind of shoving you into the dressing room to go try it on.
Anything darker?
I assure you, this matches perfectly. Particularly with that darker skin tone, it's going to pop. Try it. And he's almost shoving you into the dressing room.
I think I've seen that kind of livery on things you use to crack nuts.
He just immediately turns around. He goes back into the room going for another one.
For fuck's sake, I quickly back behind Bjorn.
And
You can go
Bjorn
next.
Bjorn quickly scoots behind Harden.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, wee man. There's a tap Horik forward.
Take one for the team.
I'll wait until his enthusiasm is a bit burnt out.
Unfortunately, he comes back out and he goes straight for the dwarf.
No, please.
Oh,
And he presents you.
no, mate, I can't. I didn't get a hold of you quite in time. It's a real shame. Good luck.
He presents you with a rather smart gray outfit with these silver kind of trims and buttons.
Alright, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Look at you swanning out like you're both testicles of a dog.
He pauses, he looks over Horik and Gaddix for a moment, quickly shuffles back.
There's only so much that can be done.
Horik,
Wow.
you end up with a green outfit. A greenish brownish outfit.
I think he's going a bit typecast in here.
And then, oddly enough for you, Raider, you end up with a white outfit. But it looks like it has these little gear trims around the cufflinks.
You didn't get a union uniform. You're a Japanese general instead. You're gonna have to put your tools away. That's gonna any slotty grease or something is gonna show on that.
Yeah. Never been a fan of white.
At this point, Nadrax is coming out, but every piece of clothing is worn purposefully wrong.
He rushes over and he starts smoothing everything out for you.
Oh no, it's like pants on arms wrong.
He kind of pauses and looks and says, "Oh, I suppose you need assistance in changing?"
No, I need a simpler.
Sure.
You have something in a robe, I guess, for him.
A robe would be nice.
I don't think I have something that would necessarily fit the occasion. This is ideal for the height of fashion.
I'm guessing I don't stock moo-moos.
After all, they won't let you in if you're not dressed appropriately.
I suppose.
Oh, so it's not hopeless then.
That settles it. Good.
Fine.
He wanders back in, and he starts digging around, and you can tell, Harton, you might be next. You
Oh,
or Uzana.
Do I push her forward? What's the miss? Wait, she's emotionless. I can get away with this. I step behind her.
I think
Yeah,
we're in a
just-
menswear store. We're going to have to find another one for her.
It's a tailor.
Well, as you say that, he comes out with what actually looks to be a orange dress. It's an orangish reddish dress that seems to be almost flame inspired, and hands it to the lady
Oh, thank you.
and pulls out a deep blue suit, looks over Harton, and passes it over. It's a deep blue suit with a light blue lace trim.
Oh god, this is just flopping the lace on the sleeves. What is this for?
For fashion. It is to be fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
You need to match your lady.
Then I've got very fashionable plateware, I guess, because I usually sit on things like this. Alright, it's required, I guess. It's the trend.
I think
Right,
there's
he
a
looks
bit
at-
of an issue with your suit.
Shut up. Look at you.
No,
you
this
get
is,
the
this
issue?
is pure. This is pure. Well, you see, I can't quite fit my sword belt around here. There's too much stuffing inside here.
That's you, anyway.
It's not meant to be worn with a sword belt, but if you have to, you get a bigger sword belt.
I've been trying to tell him that for years. He's not. He's been refusing it. We've been having
You
to put
just
the
see-
straps on his chainmail tighter just so we can put it on.
You can see the last hole that, like the last place that could be a hole in the belt has just started stretching more and more. It used to be a circular hole. Now it's just an oval.
I could recommend you a premium leather worker.
Hey, that could work.
If we put that leather back in the cow, it'd be 7 foot long.
So everybody, try on your dresses, try on your outfits. Tell me what you think.
Aye, it's comfortable enough. I mean, don't quite have that reverend feeling to it. And this is just going to distract me as he keeps flapping his hand with the lace. It's alright. I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it.
That reminds me. Do I have breast buttons? Is it double breasted?
It is double-breasted, and each of the buttons have gears on them.
Excellent. So I look sort of like that. I'm fucking Jace from League of
And-
Legends. I knew I saw that.
And
somewhere.
massive 70 shoulder pads.
Yeah, yeah. I'm fucking Jace from League of Legends. This is awesome. I was just thinking. I was like, wait a minute. Yep.
Although it's long sleeves.
Well, yeah. I know it's not the same, but I'm
For
from
now.
Piltover. Holy shit.
Does Carl get dressed too?
Get my bow tie.
I'll go. If you want, he could probably dig out a bow tie that would work for Kago, but he's not looking very thrilled about this.
No, I kind of I look at what he gave me and I kind of see a, like, handkerchiefs and swatches you would use. I go and I go, and if he lets me take one, I'll tie it around Kago to make it kind of like a bandana.
He frowns.
He's very attached to it.
I would recommend, if you must, at least purchase a bow tie.
Okay, I'll buy a bow tie.
He'll never learn how to put it on, though.
You,
I built this thing. You don't think I can put on a bow tie?
No, I'm saying Cargo, he'll never manage it. You'll always have to help him.
I just roll my eyes and go about purchasing this bow tie.
Are all of these offerings acceptable? I do have to say, I think you all look splendid.
Aye, well, some of us
Yes.
turned out better than you, most. Not surprising in this case, my wee wife looks great in anything. And mostly in nothing.
I suppose I can suffer through this for the evening.
Welcome to a bonding experience. Grit your teeth.
Congratulations, it's 15 gold apiece.
Oh, was that a pin left in
Okay.
here when you were measuring? No, that pain is from the price. Okay.
15 gold from everybody.
Alright.
I'm going to start taking those clothes
But-
off.
but
I
he
don't
can-
have that kind of money.
No,
Not
it's up.
processing this, he's gonna go, wait, but Harton and his wife got something for 15 gold, and I just got a bow tie for the...
Well, no, for Kago would be 10 silver.
Ah, okay.
It's alright. I'll cover you, lad.
You could see Gaddix just going, wait a minute, this am I getting hosed here? Yeah.
I want to know whether this is actually a good price. Or shall we start arguing slightly? Or
He is-
haggling?
He is guild. The whole point is you're meant to be protected this way, which is
Oh,
bollocks.
fuck.
Horik,
Yes.
you have no idea if this is a good deal.
I will scrutinize it. I've
Martin,
still,
you think this is pretty fair.
I've still got no
You think-
clue. I assume so.
You still feel it's grossly overpriced, but you have an inkling. With all the fancy fops around here, this is probably about normal.
And while it's massively overpriced, it's also guild pricing, so I'm not going to find better.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I'll pay for the scale man and myself.
Oh, cheers.
I hand over the 15 gold.
I'll head over as well.
15 gold and 10 silver for the dog.
Now I only have 198 gold.
Oh no, you're a fucking poor.
I'm down to 55 because Harton just keeps paying for people.
Oh wait, no, did Harton say he was gonna pay for me?
Not you, no.
Oh, not you.
No, for me.
Nice
But I
try.
don't have any money.
I know. I thought I saw the shot and
I've already comped most of the party for various things.
so it's how many silvers and a gold?
10.
And
Okay.
So it's 1 gold.
Or 5 electrum.
Who uses Electrum?
people who can't touch gold.
And why is Electrum where it is on my character sheet? That's not the order things should go in. Wait, is it?
Yeah.
And why is Electrum between gold and silver? I feel like it should belong somewhere else.
Electrum's just worth 2 silver, basically.
People who can use gold could also
5.
use platinum.
That's true.
The Electrum enthusiasts are basically the NFT bros of this setting. Dude, everyone's
Oh,
going to be using
I
Electrum.
hate it.
Look at these coins, man.
Why would you say that? I hate everything about what you just
They're not
said,
minted
sir.
from any of the established cities. Look at them. Look, there's no old dude's face on this. It's a pure currency.
Raider, does the cat have water?
Isn't Electrum technically some gold-silver mix?
Yeah, it's an alloy.
So yeah,
Do they have food
the
down?
people who can't use gold coins would still have problems with Electrum, probably.
There's also shit like was it like the crescent moons and all that there sort of thing as well. There's also the fact that because we have our mix of round and awkward coins, and then we've got all of these new fancy Waterdeep Dragon coins.
The dragons.
Yep. With their awkward, weird shape. So not as bad as silver pieces. Those just fucking stab you in the pocket.
Also, just in case you're wondering, the children all think you are dressed quite lovely.
Nice.
This is really normal. He's not just fooling me as he just points at the overly lacy sleeve and the cuffs and the collars.
This is how people in high society dress.
Suppose I'm
Yeah,
get.
you-
Suppose
You,
I'm
you
get.
look like a right proper noble.
Oh, I feel like a right proper knob, yeah. Right side at least. I've noticed I don't have a little accoutrement that Volo did with it looked. What was that thing around his neck? It looked ridiculous.
Scott?
No, he had like a. Was it it's not a smooth. It's
Collar.
a rough. That was it. Sound Coggle makes.
You do notice that on the mention of that, he does bring out one and presents it to you.
No thanks. I've paid. I'm quite done here.
Oh, I insist it goes.
I insist on that as well. Sure, fine. I'll give it a good home. All
You
right,
have to look
kids.
the part.
I feel like a right part. You're correct there. Right, kids. Let's get yourselves and us real clothing as well. Stuff we can use every day.
Yeah, I change back into my normal gear and carefully pack away the fancy stuff.
You
I
did look
fold it
nice
up
though,
and
Uzi.
put it in Kago's trunk.
Yeah, I don't imagine there's any one of us that's going to leave the store with that clothes on.
Well, no, there's no point.
Yeah.
No point.
For fancy times. Or does Uzana stay in it?
It's not time for the event.
Exactly. I'll get these restored and stashed. We need something with a bit of a density to it. Something that'll keep the chill out. And get you lots out of patches and straps and braces. On we go.
All right, let's go. And as promised, 6 doors down, there is a regular clothing shop.
Ah, immediately this feels more comfortable. Look at that. There's even someone who's not depressed to see the sight of us.
There seems to be just a regular old human woman, and the second y'all walk in, she just gives a polite wave. Oh, hello. Do let me know if you need anything. Thanks for just about everybody.
Right. You got a kids section?
Oh, yes. Oh, look at those adorable little wee ones.
That they are.
Oh, and then you notice she kind of looks around and says, all yours?
In a way.
By association.
Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, great. All right, let's see what we can do. And yep, she goes into the back and she starts trying to dig out a whole bunch of different collections. Some skirts, some pants, some shirts. You can tell that Nat is not into the skirt thing. Every time
They've
she
also
sees
been
one, she
quite
makes a face.
It would also have been quite a odd situation where 3 very recently dressed adults come in with 3 rough dressed kids.
No, I'm just thinking that
That's
when
right.
she eagerly sweeps them alongside Gaddix and Horik.
No, she can see that Gaddix clearly is not a child, but she does try to sweep Horik along with.
It's
So
like
Horik,
facial hair. Yeah.
you're getting swept along with the children to go look at things.
Okay.
Just resigned to his fate.
Sometimes the kids' stuff has got more interesting.
That's true.
And sometimes harder wearing.
She's in her running years, so definitely a fair choice. We need something, keep the chill out. Gotta get him prepped for the cold weather.
Right, let's see.
Need something for ourselves as well, I believe.
Oh, yes. The adult section, and she does gesture. I have some lined up over there. The women's are on the left. The men's are on the right. Let's see.
Do you
For
cater
the wee
to our
ones,
various sizes?
the only one I'm worried about is you, good sir, pointing to the Dragonborn. However, I do think we've got about 5 items that might work.
I just like to imagine that they've got a little formation, Parton, Bjorn, Gadix, and then or Horik, and then Gadix, just in a line, so you see the dwindling scale.
Except you wouldn't, because
No,
you'd be
I
blocking
think
everyone.
Well, no, I've signed it back.
I'm fine.
Oh, then you'd see an ascending scale.
Yeah, I should be fine. I think they were the ones looking for better clothing.
Oh, well, yeah, if you want anything more cheery, I think we got the red outfit.
No. I'm
Brown?
fine with what I have.
Green?
As I said, it's not my. I'm not the reason we're here.
All right.
The little ones are.
So she does start trying to help the children out. She's bringing out. She does make a suggestion. So are we looking for about maybe one winter coat? How many pairs of pants and shirts? About 3.
For each.
Right. All
They're
right. Let's
kids
see
after-
what we can do.
They're Waynes after all. They're gonna scuff those up.
Oh, no doubt. That tends to be how things work. Thankfully, these are relatively hard wearing. And yep, they go to town trying to try things on. Nat turns her skirt up. Oh dear, her nose up at every single skirt option presented to her.
She's running about far too much fat there. She needs trousers. She's a sporting girl.
And they do come away with, mostly oddly enough, Nat and oh fucking hell, Nat
Ridley?
and
Jinx.
no Jinx. There we go. Nat and Jinx stick to mostly black or brown trousers. Squidly picked one black pair, one bright red pair, and then one bright blue pair. Meanwhile, for the shirts, they picked every color of the rainbow. Squidly did manage to find himself a purple shirt, and he demanded the purple shirt. Then he picked one black, and he picked one orange. Nat just stuck with blue and black. And then our other friend, Jinx, decided to pick a green outfit and then 2 deep blues.
You're all noting this down, right?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very important. There's going to be notes on this later.
Hey, you're looking in a lot better shape now.
This is exciting! We didn't get to choose our clothes before. We always had to pick whatever got handed to us.
Aye, well, you know, they've got to make do with what they can get a hold of. You're in the private sector now, so you've got a bit more freedom for luxuries.
These don't even have holes in them.
Hey, and they're all yours, so you have to look after them as well.
We will, don't worry.
I mean, I'm not
We know
saying
how to
that,
wash them too.
Aye. I mean, I'm not saying there won't be replacements or anything, but you know, it's good to get the wear in of what you've got. Bjorn's a fine example of that. Everything he's got has been fucking worn in near the breaking point.
Can I get
But I
the
know how to
cape?
fix it up again.
You said I could get a cape.
Aye, I did. But we're getting the
A
shoulder
shoulder
cape.
cape.
Aye. Really cool.
He rather quickly turns, says, "Do you have a purple cape?" And she kind of thinks about it. I don't think I have one in your size. I have a blue one. He ponders it and then agrees to the blue one.
You saw a very fancy man, you see, very inspiring type.
Ah, yes, kids. They have to emulate who they like to see. They see something they like, they want it. Part of being a kid.
Disappointed now, none of them pick scale mail with fur trim. It's a bit of a joke.
Unfortunately, I don't have any fur trim.
Do you have scale mail?
No, not here either.
Nah,
This is clothing, not armor.
It's one of our neighbours that does that, actually.
Fancy cat. Oh, fucking hell.
Ugh.
That face is about accurate.
I mean, at least now in the picture, he has the weird proportion of a gnome.
Yeah, the head doesn't look right. You know what? I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving that.
But
That
it looks
works.
correct for a gnome.
Yeah.
I was like, that somehow looks. I'm okay with this. So I might change his token when we go to the party. Haven't decided yet.
Although, let's face it, if you want a Gaddix reference, you might as well grab the Yordle in Arcane. Remember bloody name, the Einstein dude.
Yeah, Heimerdinger.
Alrighty, what's that gonna
Alright.
sting me for?
And she does a quick little tally up. This would be 2, 3, 10 silver.
Oh, very reasonable.
I do try.
Yeah, no bother then. Might actually come and get some more at that price. There you go. Nice shiny dragon for you. Ah, that's what they're called.
Cheers. Let me get you your change. Wait, no, 10. Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Hey,
There we go. Perfect.
I mean, I can wait for him to change all you want. Quite happy to accept some. Call it a tithe.
Throw a coin to your cleric?
Throw a coin in the dish. Everyone
So-
gives or you get the fuck out.
That's your grift. You just go into random buildings and start passing a little cup around and take what
Right.
they put in it.
Yeah, that's a lovely vessel you've got there. Long voyage, you say. Be a shame if something were to happen to it. You know, you might be in a landlocked village and all, but Valkyrie's a man of the storms, and you can be struck by lightning fucking anywhere.
God damn it.
So, jingle jangle.
Yes. Yeah.
Nah, of course, you know he's not like that. He's loud, but he's not a fire and brimstone type.
Doesn't give the money back, leaves.
We've just got to fix the roof of the chapel again, mainly because I blew the fucking thing off last time. What can I say? That kid fucking went for it, and what a goal! Cross the pitch unaided.
All right. So now what are you all going to do?
Good question.
I guess at this point it is just
Time to do a plot.
yeah.
All right. So if y'all are going to be marching on out,
Well, we'd probably
We're
stop off
told-
somewhere nice for lunch. You know, have a good roast chicken out there, then head off.
I would certainly hope so. So yes, you do head out to the Undercliff. And when you wander out, yep, you get out the city gates just fine. And you do notice, yep, it is nothing but farmlands. You probably would, let me guess, where you were at. You might actually end up out the north gate and then go down. If you do that, you would actually notice that Squidly and all the children kind of come on really close to y'all and mention that they don't want to stray too far if they're going out into the field ward.
Any reason?
Not a safe place.
Aye, that's part of why we're here.
No, the field ward isn't. Once we get out of the city, it's fine. Just we don't go into the field ward.
Rough neighborhood.
Yes. And Nadrax, you are very aware the field ward is more than a bit rough. Because technically, it's not part of the actual city.
All right.
Nobody in there pays taxes. It's just kind of an area where a bunch of people set up and said, we live here now.
So a mixture of slum and
Criminal elements.
yeah.
Some of which you do know by name.
Okay. I don't really want to be seen here.
If you want, you are more than capable of trying to
Yeah.
stealth your way through.
Yeah.
That-
I'll actually use a spell slot here. And make myself look more inconspicuous.
Not the very obvious dragonborn.
Yes. Just a regular old human. Well, middle-aged human, more likely.
So everybody, your dragonborn randomly turned into a human.
I do not want to be seen there, so please don't remark on it. Just call me Steve or something.
It's a very common name
All
out in the
right.
Forgotten Realms.
That's the first thing I thought of. It was
Dwarves, lizard
dog.
folk, dragonborn, they're all called it. And here I thought I'd take a full moon for that sort of thing.
Oh no, it's just an illusion.
Aye, well, if you're feeling a bit squiffy, too bad. I've got the kid. I'm holding the kid's hands as priority first.
Yeah, basically, I touch him a bit to show him that there's still a dragonborn hand underneath the
Aye,
illusion.
I know this. My wife's a wizard.
All right. But yeah, we can go now. But let's try to get through there quickly. That only lasts an hour.
Aye, well, if you want a security blanket, you'll have to grab hold of Bjorn's hands. I've got the kids.
Gaddix is holding hands with the dog somehow.
Well, it certainly does take less than an hour to walk through the field boards because it is very small.
It's weird though whenever you're holding hands with a dog because the other front leg is also in the air and the back legs are just completely moving it fine. There's no balance issues. It's not standing up or anything. It's still horizontal.
It's like its center of mass should be totally off, but it's fine.
Yep, it's just got all that junk in the trunk.
It's not even weighty. Yeah.
Gyroscopes are one hell of a drug.
Also, I don't really rate the observational powers of those guards. They're one of the first people who didn't fucking ask us that we're new here.
Well, to be fair, you were leaving.
Maybe they're hoping we don't come back.
You also notice when you enter field ward, there are 0 guards, and you're used to guard posts almost, every 5 foot. And yet you enter field wards and there is no guard presence at all.
But we are a fairly large and well-armed group, so yeah, it's unlikely that we're going to get randomly mugged.
Although we do look like we have 4 kids with us.
4 and a teenager. A bit pudgy.
Who's riding a metal dog? Well, holding hand with a metal dog.
Buying a sandwich for the metal dog.
Somebody roll me a d20 for this.
Keep yourselves aware. Wee man, you might have to bust a kneecap or two.
You do notice as y'all are walking around, there does seem to be about 2 or 3 guys trailing on behind you, kind of looking y'all over a little bit.
Well, because it's Harton, he wheels round. Do you fucking mind?
They kind of pause.
That's
what?
it.
What?
Get the fuck.
We're walking here.
Oh no!
Oh no, roll
Oh, we gotta
initiative.
get
Just
out of
on
here.
principle, they have to die.
Yeah. Just walk in here.
I'm walking here.
A lot of people from the colonies in this war.
Oh, God damn it.
It took you that long?
Buy my exercise program, $2.99. Movie little chicken legs.
I know nothing about military strategy, but my father was very rich.
Well, he's got money.
But yeah, that is, I'm walking here. I'm allowed to go where I need to go.
Hey, we'll see. Keep your distance, mate. We'll get back to walking. Next time they get thaumaturged.
Does anybody want to be perceptive on the general area?
I definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Time to get betrayed. decent.
Nope.
Do we have one from Nadrax and Gaddix?
No, enough people are keeping an eye out.
Rosanna's probably having to put up with Squidly in her hand.
I'm occupied with the dog.
Even nervous and cautious, the kid is too excited by everything.
Actually, I'm just more eager to try out my new spell.
Yep.
Welfare of a
Uzani,
child or new spell? New spell.
New spell,
I-
new spell.
Jinx is currently attached to the hip. Uzana. He is not happy with the scenario. Nat is holding your other hand, but more or less okay.
Huh.
Meanwhile, Squidly is just happy and bouncing along next to Hart and
Yep.
kind of distracting him a little bit. But you all notice that there are a lot of people watching after that little kind of escapade. And then both Bjorn and Nadrax, you both notice there's one guy in particular that seems to be kind of moving from shadow to shadow to shadow. He's got a weird looking tattoo on his neck. It has like a dot with some spindly rays sticking out of it. Very familiar to one y'all saw in the sewers.
I see the accent
y'all-
remained.
Yeah,
The sewers.
yes, the sewers.
Suez.
Do we have a
The sewers
barbarian
from
with
when you-
Brooklyn rage?
God damn it.
I suppose I definitely recognize that one.
Oh yeah, you know that one.
Do I know the person as well?
You do not.
All right.
But yeah, you recognize the neck tattoo.
And you do too, Bjorn. We've killed people with that.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we got some people from the sewers who are following around with us.
Aye, well, as long as he keeps his distance. I don't mind the spying. Get ready to fucking neck him, though.
He stays at a distance, and you do make it through the North Yard without incident.
We'll go through the other gate next time.
Yeah, might be advisable.
Well, I mean, it's no problem for us, but I don't want to have the kids swapped up in that bed. They're just meant to spectate for now. We'll give you defense lessons later.
Okay. We're really good at defense. And Squidly pulls out his fake wooden sword.
Oh, aye, that would be a rough one, that. Give you a fair wallop. Looks
Yeah, I've walloped somebody with it before.
Looks a wee bit off balance. We could give it a nice varnish as well. That'll keep the
Could we?
Aye, that'll keep the moisture out so it'll last longer.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I should.
I suppose. If you actually get attacked, try this one. And I hand him a dagger.
No, not yet. You can take that back. The kids will be fine. They are smart enough to know to run, right?
Aw, yeah.
Don't need to go into harming, buddy. More importantly, you don't need to bring harm on yourself.
Aw.
What? They're old enough to handle a dagger.
They are 9. 9 and 10-ish.
I had a
So
knife when I
yes,
was
but they
9.
should be moving to war axes by now.
I had a knife when I was a camping knife when I was 9.
Yeah.
They
But
can
then
definitely
look at
use
you.
crossbow.
I'm actually well adjusted compared to the people I've seen.
That's
Yes,
only
I
because you
sure
live in
think.
Florida, though.
Like that kid who dropped a bayonet on me.
Oh god.
So yeah.
I'd like to point out that when the bayonet got dropped, it literally chipped part of his glasses out because if he wasn't wearing glasses, he would have lost his
There's a
fucking
big
eye.
there's a big
Jesus.
cut down one of my lenses of my reenacting pair.
Yeah, but also Squidly is a very active kid. We don't need him to have a knife just yet. And Jinx would probably use it on himself first.
Oh,
Nat, though, she'd get you right in the gut. You'd bleed out.
That kind of reminds me of someone else's podcast where they were like, and as the guy you were trying to save, the girl, mad with anger, is trying to go and kill him with the knife you gave her. Actually, 2 knives. I also gave her 1. She goes at him with 2 knives.
fuck.
Oh, we actually... That's one little divergent. We actually found, Scotch, a kung fu film that has a more abrupt ending than the Chess Master. Because that one ends when he just grabs and breaks the throat of the villain. The one we caught last night, he was stabbing him with multiple knives, and the film ended as he was diving down with 2 knives. You didn't even get to see the villain die. Nothing, no resolution. Perfection.
You could just easily assume that the guy is dead now.
Yeah, you can assume it, but the fact they just didn't bother showing it, no closure, nothing.
It was great.
It was. Anyway. But yeah, Nat's the kind of girl who knows to twist the blade as well.
Alright, we are
Teaching
have
kids how to
left
kill.
ourselves,
Well done.
and we are
Yes.
now.
Droop's not even a goblin adult yet.
I mean, I guess it's
Yeah.
part of that society. Today we teach kids to drive. Back then they taught kids how to kill.
Yeah. If anything, just so they could eat.
Sure.
Well, I mean, do you think these kids could take down a rat? Probably not an inner city rat, like the outer city, the field rat.
Oh no, he's got a knife.
I mean, Cornelius was a teenager when he had his first kill, and look at him. He's a well-adjusted adult.
God, I'll never forget that. He pulled the token away and it came back and it was a bigger rat with an actual sword. Fucking hell.
You see a big rat with a knife.
Yeah.
Look out, he's got a knife.
Yes.
And then we got to culminate that with a fucking nerd's adventure. I've got a pan, and he's got a knife. Just enough to kill the wizard.
Yep.
The allied party wizard who blew us the fuck up.
Look, I had a bead left. Adventure was over. It had to happen. I stand by what I did.
You're on the correct map.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
where are y'all going to go?
Well, to the place where we're meant to go. Yeah, well, we'll ask directions, of course, at a men's farm, for example. Because we were sort of shown it was more sort of like near where Undercliff is actually written.
Yeah.
Oh, the field ward is actually just really short.
Yes, very, very short.
But dangerous.
Well, relatively.
Yeah.
Well, the way we crossed it is
Yep.
really short.
Yes, straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, smell that fresh air. That is nice. That is very... Oh, yeah. Feels good to be out of the walls.
Hey.
Says the man who lives under a mountain. Not under a mountain, sorry, that's you, isn't it?
In the mountain, eh?
In the mountain. Yeah, you're in the mountain, he's under a mountain, he's on top of the mountain. And
In
he's
the
in the field
mountains.
beside it.
We don't normally get to explore outside. This is cool.
Hey, it's
Question, Arena, for the DM. Can you give us the map as a handout?
Let me see if it's marked like that. Should there is best choice. Question mark?
Oh, that's a nice little reference there. Logan's Walk. Instead of run.
You see, apparently that would make sense,
So you can't do it.
and I don't think I can try making one later.
I can see a couple of places that might have had some insurance scams going on. Burnt Inn Street and Soot Alley. Oh, there we go. There's where we could lose most of the party there. Firewine Alley. Only the finest boot juice.
No, I'm actually not an alcoholic in this campaign.
I know, but Horik and Bjorn are.
And the dog.
I mean, yes, he's definitely an alcoholic in the fact that he requires it to survive, yeah.
Yeah, he runs on ethanol.
Yeah.
It's a very sustainable fuel source.
And the most dangerous part of all, Shanty Lane with her incessant catchy songs.
All right, so What are you all doing? You're going down to the farm?
Basically, aye.
All right, so yep.
Basically,
you do
aye.
head on down.
It's a long
You
walk. It's a
do-
good thing we got them the new shoes to break in.
Yeah, it's kind of assumed that you'll end up all the way down. Either you're going to end up in the river gate and then have to walk back up the city, or you'll have to walk all the way back. If you plan on going a different gate, you'd have to go to Troll Gate,
Right.
which would not have a road.
We'll
So
also
you
see if we
pass
can.
back
We'll also see if we can, flag down a cart that's not busy right now. If it doesn't mind a few passengers.
So when you get to Emmons Farm, you do see a couple workers out in the field, kind of doing their own thing. They give you a cheery wave as you're walking by.
Hey, over there.
Heyo.
You lads know of trouble, scarecrows, scratching, people injured?
Oh, well, people haven't quite been injured, but yeah, we've had reports of them. I ain't seen much. Although old Jed swore he saw a walking scarecrow. A couple of farms further down south, it seemed like a couple of their animals got.
Nasty business out there. Well, we're here to solve that, hopefully.
I found the city map. It involves the whole thing. There we go.
Yeah.
This is part of Volo's note things.
It looks a bit like a Maui head with the jaw hanging open. See, like the landmass on the left is the nose.
Easter Island, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Moai head,
But-
not Maui head.
So you do get confirmation that there is something out here.
Yep. I mean, I figured the disembodied voice in a garden wasn't going to send me on a wild goose chase. That'd just be ridiculous. You
Yeah,
can
when
always
that
trust the
happens.
disembodied voices. I'm a cleric. This is my job.
So
And no, I will not stop drinking from this bottle.
It's holy water now. It's fine. I'm getting closer to the gods. And this bit polish will be a
No.
nice little chaser.
somebody roll me 1d100.
All right.
Jesus.
Yeah, that bodes very badly for you. So yeah, you're going on a lovely stroll. Very lovely weather out here. The rain has stopped.
Well, we had hoods and all for it this time.
It's a lovely walk. You're seeing nothing of import whatsoever.
Well, I mean, we're taking in the sights, pointing things out. We actually know a bit about this stuff. Able to
Now,
inform the kids.
That's a tree. This is grass.
now, this is the part here that you don't usually hear about in the adventure stories and such. The part that is really boring. Where we just walk around and wait for something to happen.
Lads, we're just getting to a place where it's actually going on. This is just the transit.
Aye.
And ignore those cows. One's just trying to leapfrog the other. That's fine.
You do notice almost all of these fields have scarecrows, but they look entirely normal.
I don't know. That one's giving me a bit of an eye. But he says not this farm just yet. So we have a wee shifty. You kids alright with the feet?
Oh yeah, we do lots of walking and running and all sorts of things. This is normal.
Hey, on PF not there. A bit rougher now. Again, a bit nicer too. You get that nice wind around you, a nice air.
It's really cool seeing just all of the nothing and there's not a lot of people. It looks empty.
It's a wee bit. I mean, usually spring and all that there, so you just expect a few more people in the field getting the work. You gotta break the soil down every day you can. You make it friable, they call it. It's gotta be granular, it gotta fall apart in your hands. That's why Horik's so damn good at it. He's got those wee stabbing punches to get right in. And he continues to waffle.
Yep. You wander on down. Anytime you pass a farm, they mention that definitely there is definitely something going on, but you don't see any sort of moving scarecrows.
Well, they did say at night. We're just
We've
making sure
got
none of
at
these
least-
people.
We should. How close are we actually getting to our destination?
We're about 2 miles away.
Yeah.
Basically, from the understanding, literally this whole outside area where all the farms are, it could be anywhere here.
Okay. Do we
Well-
want to start just investigating the odd scarecrow when we get close to see if anyone's been messing with them?
As long as we can ask permission.
I mean, do we actually know anything bad that has happened aside from the spooky scarecrow appearing?
Yeah, animals with mold.
Any missing persons or anything?
Animals have been mauled, people have been spooked, but so far, any sentient individuals have not been harmed. They've just been spooked. Animals have been mauled and killed and all that other jazz.
But that could also be unrelated.
Theoretically. But people have said that they saw something mauling one of the animals.
We're basically hunting for
Looked
chupacabra.
like a scarecrow.
Also, there seems to also be a very interesting bit of news where one of the farmers swears up and down that he saw one over at a farm next to him while he saw another one mauling his cow at the same time.
I think we should start investigating the scarecrows around here then.
Yeah. We'll walk up to one. Now watch this. Now we've got to be careful here, you see. We've got to get information, we've got to understand the situation, so we've got to break as well. You there, what were you doing last night? Don't you fucking look at me in that tone of voice. What are you doing? Just play acting for the kids a bit. You'll give it an smack to the face so it twirls round.
Scarecrow twirls around.
He's determined, I'll give him that. He's got a rock hard will. Mind you, he probably just have straw on the head.
I'm
Mr.
examining
Harton, that's
there
just
any-
a scarecrow.
I know, I'm only mucking about.
Is there any footprints that were leading up to it that were odd or anything? Or a lot of them?
Investigation?
Hey, can you show us the site of attack?
The farmer does bring you over to an area where he says that the cow was killed. It was a couple of days ago, so it's not like you see really much, but you can still see bits where, the soil looks a bit darker, like there was probably a lot of blood in the area. It looks well walked over, though. Horik, you're not sure if this is a kind of thing where it's people are wandering around, if there's something important. You do see that there's it looks almost like somebody took a broom over a couple of the areas. It's very kind of swept about, which is a little bit weird. Some of the footsteps are on top of that.
I'm feeling a wee bit more confident in my goblin guess.
Possibly. But is the foot of the scarecrow look like it's just straw sticking out that might be causing the sweeping thing?
What was the question?
Do we have straw sticking out the bottom of the scarecrow that might be causing the sweeping action?
I mean, you can see that, yeah, generally there tends to be some straw sticking out the bottom.
Okay. I also asked the farmer whether the scarecrows that were attacking had any features that might narrow down which of the scarecrows were doing it, or anything
Oh, they
like
look
that.
right. They look right nasty. Look just about like a regular scarecrow. Just was grinning, and had kind of like knives for hands.
Okay, is there a general area?
Hey, was someone attacked
local
like
area.
recently or anything?
Yeah.
Think further south there was one about 2 days ago.
Nothing closer than that? I mean in date, not in distance.
No. It was 4 days for me and my buddy over there, and then I think there was the next one was down south of ways. They're not all the time, they come and go. It was just weird to have two in a day. It was two actually at the same time.
Could you maybe mark that on the map somehow so we can try to find a pattern or something?
Let me grab. Actually, I can even grab Scarecrow token. Why not? Where? You could just use the Diatrima token just for funsies. Can I spell? There we go. Okay, so you are here. So two were here. Reports were that there was another one down here. You hear tale that there might have been one out here. And then you also hear that there had been one up here and over here.
Yeah,
Luckily, the
right.
Snow Beetle Orchard and Meadery is fine. What a name. That's gotta be a halfling home. Alright, I'm seeing the pattern here. They're attacking the fields. And the farms that are attached to those fields. So we can narrow down things like there won't be in the city. It's important we've made an important step forward in our investigation. Let's see now. The problem is that the oddness of the days and the movements. No one gets a really good look at it. Well, it's on the way. We'll head on to... We'll head over to this one.
Oh, this is the one you're at.
Alright.
I mean, if we're trying to catch the scarecrow bloody red-handed, then we will probably have to wait and
A lot of area to cover though, so we need to have an idea of what we're going to hit. Have you only been attacked the once, sir?
Only the once. I some of the guys have said that they've seen other ones around here, but I mean, I've only seen them the once.
Anyone you know that's had a couple of them? Like maybe a every other night sort of thing?
No, nothing like that. Mostly, I mean, the farm next over, he was referring to this one over here. He's seen him a couple times, but he's never been attacked. I think it's been 3 over the past month. That's a very haphazard thing.
Did you see any during the last sort of attack? You said it was like 2 days ago or so?
It
I
was
mean, we
4
can ask
days
him
ago
as well. I'm
here.
just wondering if you know.
It was this one over here was 4 days ago. No, he didn't see anything on that one.
Alright. I think we're going to be heading more south. We'll hit our way down to this one.
Alright. You follow on down. You hear a very similar report from this farm out here. Namely the fact that one of their animals got slaughtered, They're very upset about it. They have no idea where the things came from, and they don't know why they were hit.
If they go specific, like is it always say a cow? If they don't, there's not just a farmer who walks out and finds one chicken has been eaten.
No, this one's a goat. And it's not that it's been eaten, it's been shredded.
Are the places that have been attacked growing the same crops?
Nope.
Or no, all different crops? Okay.
Some of them are growing the same things, but it's not like it's consistent across the board. Same thing with animals.
And your
Like
scarecrow.
you hear report that the animals are different each time too. And it's not like the animals are being eaten, it's just shredded.
They tell me, your scarecrows when you put them down. The next day after an attack, are they still in the same place you put them?
I believe so. They weren't bloody, we checked ours.
Might give it a wee tap with a hammer. Nah. Let's see now. It's a bit haphazard though, there's a lot of people who've been skipped over from the looks of it. Mind you, the central request did come from further south, so we'll head on that way.
So these animals were farm.
All of the animals that were killed were farm animals. You're hearing cows, chickens, goats, anything of that sort of nature.
Yeah,
And
just
why the fuck are they running around?
that's the thing. We don't know.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah,
ask the
we
very obvious question we should have asked before. Which way to the abandoned farmstead that had the murderers at it?
I don't think there is one.
Yet.
That would have made it so easy.
I know, wee man, I know. Sometimes you've just got to do a bit of work for a change.
So, and these animals were from the respective farmers from the area?
Yep.
Or what is...
The animals were all local when the farmers came out, and their animals are dead.
Can we ask these farmers why they let their animals roam around really field alone?
Well, I mean, they ain't completely alone. I have them in the night paddock. Can't necessarily bring them into the house, now can you?
I mean, don't you have barns for them?
No, we don't usually put them in the barns up at night unless it's real cold. We put them in a smaller paddock at night with a bit higher fence.
Alright.
We don't usually have trouble with the wolves getting up in there.
So, and that's in there where they were torn apart? Or where they dragged
Correct.
out the paddock?
No, they were done up in the paddock.
Alright. Huh.
It's the distance that's feeling a bit weird here. Multiple, fine, I can accept that, but it's the scatteredness of it that's a bit of an issue. I could imagine a cohesive unit. The way they're all spread about skirmish-like.
And the one where there were 2 attacks, which one was that again?
That was this one here.
Ah, the middle one.
I'm almost tempted to investigate the foresty bit here just to see if there's anything there. Just seeing it's sort of scented.
Yeah, I was eyeing that place a bit as well.
I mean, there's a bigger foresty bit up here.
Oh yeah, but it's more like from the distance from everything. That would
Yeah.
be an easy way to go back and hide until tonight.
It's kind of central. Let's go check out the creek.
You check out the creek.
Falls
It's
is
very
empty.
peaceful. It's a very peaceful area. There are lots of birds.
16 scarecrows all in a line around the pond.
Well,
Fascinating.
the pond
Well,
actually
me.
looks. The pond looks quite lovely, and as a matter of fact, the kids seem very excited, and all are running around the pond and scooping up some pond water and splashing each other with it.
Huh.
I'm gonna
Well,
look
I
for
have
drag
forest
marks
around.
or sweeping things around this area. See if footprints or anything out of the order.
Give me a survival because this is more like tracking.
I'll
Okay.
assist.
You've got a dwarf
More?
helping you, you can roll again.
Yeah.
A deer has walked by here recently. You can tell.
What's a deer doing this close to the city? Okay.
That's not so unusual with the farmlands.
Need to get this out of my head, so I'm gonna show the bairns how you catch a frog. You lot can deliberate for a bit, I'll join yous in a bit.
Don't you dare post anything about turkeys.
What?
Turkeys attacked me.
Yeah, they're called.
Yeah, they're fucking terrifying.
Yes, they are. Most birds are. I don't know why people really, really like birds, but they do.
But they're also so stupid that they will drown when the rain comes.
Yep.
Alright. I don't think there's much here apart from these really good little brown speckled backs. Look at that, look at the eyes on them.
The kids are giggling.
Yeah, we put them back down, of course, we don't just take them. We'll always be able to find more. But no scarecrows, no tracks, no indication of a hidden warband of little ghoulies. We could just go around knocking the head off every scarecrow for a night, see if that stops it. I think they might get... Well, I don't see what they get upset about.
Could we go down around and paint numbers on each of the scarecrows so when we find one moving, we know which one did it?
Well, they kind of said that there weren't any blood on the scarecrows on them afterwards, so unless the scarecrows know how to wash their clothes.
And there's
Well,
no
if it's
abandoned
done-
farm, which would make the perfect fucking location for it. I agree with you there, Horik.
I'm just wondering whether if this is done by mages or some form of thing like that. What's
If
the
you're
chance of
wanting
them?
if you're wanting a history on that, try an Arcana.
The fun thing is, most of our party cannot roll history in this area.
Well, other than you have one. Sounds about right, Hork.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it's done by mages, prestidigitation would
It could
solve
be
that
some
problem.
kind of spell, you're right
Oh.
there.
It could even be one of Uzana's spells.
It's not one of mine.
Uzana, you have an inkling that, yeah, a wizard could theoretically do it, but it's probably more of a supernatural thing. Usually you'll find something like hags or other nasty ghoulies might make them. Evil witches, that kind of thing.
Most likely a wizard, because what would a wizard get out of it?
Who fucking knows? Wizards are impossible things to predict. They're a strange breed altogether. Except for you, love.
Yes, but you can usually trace why a wizard does something.
Ah,
Sometimes you question it, but you can usually find the proper path.
I certainly have, yes. He's just
Maybe they
thinking
were
about
drunk?
those. He's just thinking a few times that he's had to rebuild the kitchen, that lovely spice rack, that set of shelves. They lost a wall once. Just thinking, yes, there was reasons for it. Couldn't call them good ones.
It was in
But
the
yeah.
name of science.
That's not the good reason.
Squidly does speak up and say, maybe it's because a wizard was drunk and bored.
That is entirely likely.
No, then we just find a load of arbalists around.
Hmm.
What's an arblast?
That's like a heavy-duty crossbow.
Why do wizards make them when they're bored?
Because they've got no sense of right or wrong.
You've
Really
lost
probably
Squidly.
to animate them.
I knew the reference she was going for. Let's have another wee conversation with him. Like, why is it it's just the animals getting mauled? So,
With the
when did this...
reports,
Hmm?
with the reports, they have been spooking humans, but they haven't been killing any yet.
Yeah. When about did it start?
The first one was up here. Then this one out here.
No. I'm wondering, like, the time frame here. Was there something that happened before this all started kicking off?
No, not that we know of.
No one new arrived? No
No.
one uprooted some old tree?
No.
There wasn't anyone who started asking for protection money.
Oh no. We would have gotten the guard involved on that.
Hmm. Wee bit of a head scratcher, this.
Does the guard know at the time that there's something going out?
I mean, we've reported it. It's just that, they say nothing really big's happened and they can't find any reports, so they just kind of said if anything big happens, let them know.
Yeah, that's pretty much why the garden sent me on this one.
So they've basically assumed someone did it. Probably. Ah,
It's very
Yeah, I'll say-
deliberate, though. It's very much a warning kind of thing.
but a warning for what?
Well, that's what I was inquiring about, but doesn't look like they've disheveled anything. No ridiculous sacrifices, unholy practices going on, no. You're holding back on the Wicker Man before winter?
There any caves? Maybe we should be looking underground. That's generally where we've found evil.
As we look to the dwarf and the dragonborn. One in mountain, one under mountain.
There is this structure way up above Undercliff Way that looks like a broken down old tower. That might have something.
From what you hear, that's more of like a watch post building.
I mean, we could always just scatter ourselves and then wait at each of the attack sites. Not a good idea, but one that's there. As it is, I think we're gonna have to at least have one of the attacks happen before we'll be able to establish anything, because all we got is past traces with nothing.
Yeah, it
We
would
need
also probably
footprints, we
be
need
useful.
tracks, we need something to indicate.
Something fresh that we can investigate before things happen to the corpse too. Because all we have now is here. So staking out it is, I suppose.
Hey, basically, we're on a camping trip now, kids.
Awesome!
We'll see if we can get the permission to go in one of the barns.
If you're trying and whereabouts are you going to try to camp? Can you give me a ping?
Yeah, let's see. We'll try somewhere central enough like here.
You already talked to that farmer, and yep, if you ask him, he's more than happy to let you stay in the barn for the night.
Is there a barn that is where there are windows? Keep a lookout.
Well, I mean, we'll just stay awake. We'll have a little shift going.
Yeah.
Also got
There
cargo.
is no windows on it.
Yeah, we've also got cargo. We'd be doing full running patrols the whole time.
Can he bark or something if he finds some?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't take that
Actually,
bit out?
No, I'm pretty sure it still works.
Okay.
Actually, is there some sort of mental link between you and Cargo?
No,
No.
he's just deranged.
God damn it.
It's not a familiar, sadly.
Well, I suppose that Cargo could probably go looking around, see if something suspicious happened, go barking back.
Exactly.
Plus, we do DVL watch, so one of us will be out with him. A few hours pass, we swap off, head out again.
Guess it's only Garrix and Bjorn that actually have dark vision.
Yep.
Well, Squidly.
Oh yeah,
And
Squidly,
Squidly.
but I'm not.
You can take
I'm
the
not
child
ki-
out. He's got a wooden sword, he's ready for action. That's all Link needed to save Hyrule.
I'm sure you've told him this story many times.
Yeah, I think that's probably gonna have to be the plan.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So while y'all are getting ready to bunker down, somebody else can roll me a D100.
I'll do it.
Alright.
All right. So, who is going to be the first batch out?
Do we still have some daylight? Well, it doesn't matter, I've got the light spell. Fuck it, I'll go out.
All right. Who is going out with you, Harton?
Kago.
All right. Who is standing watch in the barn area?
Oracle
Bjorn can.
take watch. Oh, okay.
Alright.
Okay, Horik. Roll me a perception. You see, and it's not long after Harton's left. You swear up and down you see something moving through the fields.
I rouse the rest of the people here and point. Let's go get him.
Wow, he's just like Kago.
Except smaller, more fuel efficient.
Is he though?
Well-
Is it? Would it be more fuel efficient?
He only takes a couple of bottles to get going.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, Bjorn is going to run right after it.
All right. So I assume everybody's probably going on down. Oh, and I also forgot I have to bring the children out. My bad.
I'll follow after.
Where are the children? I forgot to drag the tokens out. It's very weird to think, oh yeah, children might be growing into combat.
What?
Yes, they are.
That's been the entirety of Arax's campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not telling them to come with us, I think.
We're just asking them nicely.
You think
Well,
we could keep
probably-
them away at this point is the
It's
problem.
probably
Hey
the
kids,
better
you want to see a dead
option
body?
to with us than to leave them alone. What?
Kids, it's one thing to
No
see a
such
dead body, it's
thing.
another thing to make a dead body.
Here we go.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Here we go.
Do you realise we're about to slaughter their cow?
You
Oh,
all do
no.
see running through the fields is the scarecrow, and you notice that the second it realizes somebody's watching, it just stands still and it looks suddenly like a regular normal scarecrow.
That's good. Yeah, make yourself a non-moving target.
It's self-aware.
I unsling my rifle.
Hang on.
So is it currently tearing into something or just stalking about?
No, it stopped.
Oh, it's just stopped exactly where it was.
I don't think anything's wrong here. Maybe we should go back.
Obviously a trick of the light. You must be getting tired.
It had been a relatively spooky looking thing, and then when it stopped, it just looks normal.
All right.
Okay, how flammable does this field look?
Oh God,
Just
why?
punch it.
Yeah.
It is quite clearly a flammable field.
Damn it, we can't use Kogo's flamethrower.
Well, it's currently like 1 inch of Zippo fire.
Well, I'll approach it while dodging. And surround it.
The second you
Okay.
get within striking distance,
It strikes.
which one of you two is up front first?
I
look-
think I approached it first, so
All right, so back up, Hork. There we go. Oh, right up here. There you go.
I
The
did
second-
plan on dodging, so it gets disadvantage on any attacks.
12 and 10.
You're rolling to GM again, by the way.
Damn it.
It's okay. Remember, if she crits that wave, and we can just ignore it, because obviously she didn't. That's a lie.
But yeah, that doesn't hit.
Okay, and that means that also it is the initiative time.
Also, it is 5:30.
Yep, it is bedtime.
Yeah, sorry. But I don't know how long this company is going to be, but I am real freaking tired.
Yeah, we can pick up next
Ditto
week.
here.
Yeah, so I figured this might be the cliffhanger.
And judging by some of these initiatives, that's when the party will be going.
Oh, I should probably roll.
Let's see. Maybe I'll find one with Cargo. I'll get my own scarecrow to beat up.
Oh god, yeah. It's very fitting.
Yeah, it's very fitting, isn't it? That's exactly how it always goes down.
Poor Harton. This is a wonderful role that you can't use.
You'll see.
I sense danger. Oh well.
Now
And on the
hold
bright
on.
side, at least Horik is going to be one of the ones who's able to immediately fight.
We know there's multiple.
Alright, I'm gonna head off, go to bed. But thanks for running.
Time to hit the button. It was a good time.
Sleep.